lover's heart for me.
Come on, I know we can do a little better than that. Please, D. Burns and DMG Band. Good morning, everybody. Oh, that don't sound like you woke up in the best place on earth. Hello. Good morning, Jamaica. Do we have any proud Jamaicans in the audience? I would hope so. If you know that you woke up in the best country in the world, please let us hear it for our island home, please. Jamaica land we love. Absolutely. Wow, can you imagine not being a Jamaican? Unfathomable, my darling, the atrocity. Right? We cannot think about it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome to Love Jamaica Fest 2026. Can we just put our hands together, please, for the team at Vision 2030 and PIOJ? One thing about them, they know how to put on an event, right? And I think that we've grown year after year a little bit better. And this year in particular, we are recommitting our love for Jamaica. In fact, I don't think we've ever fallen out of love with our island home, but really, we're just really underscoring the importance of loving this place. When you talk about resilience, when you talk about coming back stronger than ever before after having an unprecedented occasion, like a Category 5 hurricane, I feel so proud to wake up this morning, walking around, breathing beautiful air, fresh air, and moving around, greeting everybody, and living in a land that I'm going to say is free and wonderful and successful. So because we have to give thanks, and one of the things that we enjoy in our island home is to have an anthem that is really a prayer, we're going to stand together, and we are going to play and sing our national anthem of our beloved country, Jamaica. Standing, please. At this time, we're going to be inviting to the stage Mrs. Samantha Wilmot-Wilby, Localization and Stakeholder Engagement Coordinator, Vision 2030 Jamaica Secretariat, Planning Institute of Jamaica, to come forward with a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Heavenly and most righteous Father, we come before you first and foremost to give you all the thanks and praise. Lord, we know that when we get from point A to point B, we should never take it for granted and look at it as a great blessing. And so, Lord, we just want to thank you for the journeying mercies that you have granted those of us who are here. And, Lord, I pray that you may continue to be with those who are on their way. Lord, as we gather today to express our love for each other, love for Jamaica. Lord, I pray that you may lift us up in love, Lord, that this event will be successful, that we may leave here feeling fulfilled, feeling a greater joy that we are Jamaicans. Lord, I pray that you may touch our brain cells, that, we may produce meaningful discussions and thoughts that will activate actions towards making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Lord, once again, we say thank you, and we pray that you may cover this event with everything that you have. In these and other mercies we ask, in your wonderful, mighty name, amen.
And amen. Please have a seat, everybody. Have a seat. And while you're having a seat, turn to the person beside you and say, you look good this morning. You look good this morning. You clean up nicely. Thank you so much, sir. He pointed at me and said, you look good this morning. And then just turn to the other person beside you and say, you're looking like a nice Jamaican. Don't know about your status, but you look like a nice Jamaican. But listen, I'd like to welcome you all again to this Division 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Fest 2026, hosted under the theme Jamaica My Valentine, falling deeper in love. My name is Debbie Bissoon, and I'll be your MC for today's proceedings. We'd like to say a big thanks to all the partners who are joining us today to collaborate in advancing national development, whether you're here in person, online, or you're joining us via radio. And we just want to say good morning to the persons who are joining us via Power 106, I believe that's where we're having our broadcast from, and also watching us on Vision 2030 JA, or I believe it's JIS, right? Yes? Yes, team? JIS team in the building. Good morning, good morning. Now listen, we have a packed house. We have to say a very special welcome to Dr. Wayne Henry, Director General of the PIOJ. Yes, good morning to you, sir. Yeah, you see the way what he gave to everybody? And along with, of course, the members of the PIOJ senior management team and the broader PIOJ family, they deserve your round of applause. They've been working very hard to make today possible year-round. We're also pleased to warmly welcome Mrs. Latoya Richards-Franklin, Chief Technical Director in the Ministry of Industry, Investment, and Commerce, along with other representatives of the ministry. Good morning to you. The ministry is a valued partner, we must say, for this year's Love Jamaica Fest, and we sincerely thank them for their collaboration and for their support. We also extend a very warm welcome to representatives from the JMEA, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. Please wave, everybody from JMEA, yes, to the audience. Identify yourselves. Can we applaud them for being here, please? I do believe we have or will be joined soon by Mrs. Kamisha Blake, Executive Director. We have Mr. Sidney Thwaites, immediate past President and CEO of Lubricating Specialties Company Jamaica Limited. We have Mr. Mark Frankson, Vice President of the JMEA, founder and lead AI consultant, okay, at Transcend AI Consulting, and Director of Operations at Designs by Mark Limited. So if you want to know anything at all about AI, listen, Mark is your man. Seriously, I feel safer like he's here in the room. I'm good. Ms. Karima Munsi, Vice President of JMEA and CEO of one of our favorite brands, Home Choice Enterprise Limited. Good morning to you. Can you applaud her, please, if you love our products? Absolutely, as well as other distinguished representatives of the JMEA joining us here today. We are very grateful to have all of you here in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have to give a very special welcome to Professor Lloyd Waller, Executive Director of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center. Doc, can you wave to the audience, please, if you're in the room? Yes? Oh, a little delay? All right, no problem. He'll be with us shortly. And Mr. Joseph Cox, host of the Caribbean Business Review and managing partner of the Institute of Innovation and Growth. We also wish to welcome Mr. Dennis Zulu, United Nations Resident Coordinator in Jamaica. And listen, I know I may not be covering everybody, but we want to say a very special welcome to all our partners, all stakeholders, all guests. Welcome to Vision 2030 Jamaica, Love Jamaica Fest. Now, today, we celebrate Jamaica's resilience, creativity, innovation, while deepening our shared commitment to sustainable development. And this staging of the Love Jamaica Fest brings together leaders, young people, creatives, and industry partners to examine just how we can transform our cultural strengths into economic opportunities. We're looking at expanding into digital spaces and also building stronger, more resilient value chains for Jamaica's future. Because no doubt about it, I think we have surprised the world. Everybody thought that after Melissa, we would have just stalled. We're going to come to a complete stop because nowhere else would have experienced the kind of, challenge that we did with a Category 5 hurricane making landfall. And Jamaicans in true Jamaican style, little but talawa, we picked ourselves up hours, in fact minutes I would say afterwards, and we helped each other. No matter where we were, nooks and crannies of Jamaica, we were able to assist one another in true one love style. And so I think, of course, as we look forward to the future, we cannot do business the very same way, right? And we have so many strengths that we have not managed to really get the most out of. We haven't been able to, as our grandmother would say, milk it. And so in this room, we're going to be having those discussions, and we're going to be hearing from a few experts in their fields about how it is that we can maximize on the strengths that we do have here in our country. Today's program, it offers a dynamic blend of thought leadership, entertainment, and audience engagement, all designed to celebrate Jamaica's achievement while exploring pathways for resilient and sustainable growth. And throughout the morning, participants will look forward to insightful discussions, inspiring presentations, and we have a vibrant performance. In fact, we have performances that will highlight the power of culture, innovation, and collaboration in national development. And what are we talking about? I know inside this room we have our program. For the persons online who are joining us and for the persons who are listening in on Power 106, let me tell you what's coming up. We have a spotlight talk from the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association on why manufacturing matters and how local production fuels national growth. We have an engaging fireside chat with industry experts exploring resilient growth from culture to commerce, digital expansion, and value chains. And then we have the launch of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica essay competition, encouraging young people and their voices and ideas for Jamaica's future. We have a special reflection from the Caribbean Business Review on Jamaica's position within regional and global resilience frameworks. And there's also the launch of the process to develop medium-term socio-economic policy framework 2027 to 2030, marking a key milestone in Jamaica's development planning. We have giveaways as well. Jamaican like free stuff. I don't understand why we're quiet in the room. Hello. I said we have some giveaways as well. If you want to win something, make some noise. And if you want to win something, put some fire in the chat. Hello. I mean, I can't see what you're saying right now, but I'm hoping that you're putting some fire in the chat. So we have a lot to get through, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get the morning started. Are you ready? Jamaica, are you ready? Well, let's dive right into it. To set the stage for today's engagement, I now invite to the stage Dr. Wayne Henry, our Director General of the PIOJ, to deliver his opening remarks. Please welcome Dr. Henry to the stage. And can we put our hands together for Dr. Henry's suit, please? You see how sharp he's dressed today?
Thank you very much. Our moderator for today, MC, is Debbie Bissoon. Once Debbie's in the house, you know everything turn up, right? Put your hands together for her. Mr. Wayne Robertson, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change. Mr. Dennis Zulu, UN Resident Coordinator here in Jamaica. Mrs. Latoya Richards Franklin, Chief Technical Director in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Mr. Sidney Thwaites, President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, Mrs. Kamisha Turner-Blake, Executive Director of the JMEA, Mark Frankson, Vice President, and of course, Ms. Karima Munsi, Vice President of the JMEA, Mr. Joseph Cox, host, Caribbean Business Review and Managing Partner of the Institute for Innovation and Growth, PIOJ Senior Management Team and the PIOJ team, colleagues from the various ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, our private sector and civil society partners, specially invited guests, students, fellow Jamaicans in person and online. Good morning. Come on, we say it again. Good morning. A lady went to the doctor, older lady, and did her checkup. And the doctor said, you know, you are, I must say, you're in excellent health for your age. You know, what's the secret? And she said, Doc, I'm actually in love with a man half my age. Him said, well, something is really working well for you. You are in good health. All I'll do is give you something to fortify you. She said, Doc, you can't give me something to 25 me? It's a new year. The jokes are still bad. Huh? But it's thank you. Wow. It's certainly a profound pleasure to welcome you to the 2026 staging of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Fest. Every time we say the name, you have to cheer and applaud wildly. The Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Fest. The first was held in 2025, and I can recall the eclectic blend of culture and storytelling, intellect and wit, along with the sharing of knowledge and experience in an intergenerational dialogue for national development, all wrapped in the charm of brand Jamaica. Today we gather under the theme, Jamaica My Valentine, Falling Deeper in Love, to promote our national development, celebrate our limitless potential and culture, and to achieve the best quality of life that we can enjoy. Love is not a passive emotion. It is a commitment to action. It requires partnership, trust, and shared goals. It is a fuel for the social contract that binds us together and the shared belief that our collective efforts can make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. We thank all partners participating in this event, whether in person, on radio, or virtually. I especially recognize our main partners, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JMEA, and the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the MIIC, who are pivotal in translating the concepts and plans for showing love for Jamaica into action and today's fest. This staging of what we hope will be an annual fest is a continuation of the Love Jamaica initiative, which aims to leverage Jamaica's unique strengths to advance the achievement of our national development goals. The focus of today's event is resilient growth and the ways in which we can collaborate and innovate to sustain our gains and reduce our vulnerabilities, while promoting accelerated growth that can withstand shocks and crises and benefit all Jamaicans. As Debbie said, it's a timely reminder for us that we have tremendous strengths in Jamaica, a lot to be thankful for, a lot to celebrate. And the truth is we are still beset with the challenges of small island vulnerabilities. And so the agenda today targets key pillars of modern economy. One, innovation and productivity. How can we work smarter to capitalize on our cultural strengths, to create added value and compete globally? Two, value chain management, ensuring a globally competitive brand Jamaica through promoting entrepreneurship, research and development, protecting our intellectual capital, producing goods and services with distinct comparative advantage in efficiency, quality and profitability, and expanding our trade relations. And three, digital expansion, which is especially important for small island developing states, which can use technology and digitalization to expand and diversify its sectors, products, and markets. We have some exciting activities on today's agenda. Conversations on economic resilience with cross-cutting implications for social and environmental resilience, cultural engagement and live entertainment, launch of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica National Essay Competition, prizes and surprises, and the launch of the process to develop the final of 7 planned medium-term socio-economic policy frameworks, or what we call our MTFs, on the Vision 2030 Jamaica, which will cover the period 2027 to 2030. The MTF is the main mechanism for implementing Vision 2030 Jamaica and the Sustainable Development Goals in Jamaica. It is a policy framework which signals to stakeholders the medium-term priorities of the government and the areas where an enabling environment exists or is being developed to facilitate their transition of public policy into public good, towards achieving a high quality of life for all Jamaicans. As we enter the home stretch of Vision 2030 Jamaica, we are also looking beyond the horizon. The successes and lessons learned from the implementation of Vision 2030 Jamaica will be used to inform the National Development Planning Agenda for the post-2030 era. Let us use this Valentine's season to renew our vows to this country, our country, falling deeper in love with the potential of our people and the promise of our future. I encourage all participants to engage fully, contributing to the discussions as we strive to improve the lives of all Jamaicans. We have to be careful that we don't get in the eastern parishes, get back to business as usual and forget that many in the western parishes are still without. And so we all continue the collaboration and working together as we strive to improve living standards for all Jamaicans. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your dedication to Jamaica. We want to thank you for giving of your expertise and talent. Many persons, we've had the discussion even in recent times, who the diaspora adds tremendous value. A lot of Jamaicans who love the country and contribute in immense ways. But a number of persons who, and some of you here, who have been abroad and even for many years have come back. And there's something about being here. And so we want to thank you for all that you do. And those of us who have stayed and continue to contribute. And we always learn to measure at the margin. Everything matters. All contributions matter. And I want to thank you for doing that. I look forward to a productive and inspiring event today. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we applaud Dr. Henry, please, once more for his welcome, opening remarks and overview. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Measure at the margin. Everybody's contribution is absolutely vital and important. And indeed, as we, continue to have large ambitions from what people would say is a very small island, and the development is ongoing, right? But we can do so much, and that's the reason why an event like today and the entities and everybody here involved is so important, because we all have a part to play in ensuring that we are growing resiliently and we're sustaining that growth, because we also want to just live well here, right? We don't want to just have all of these things here and then, oh my God, we don't have the capacity, we don't have the room to grow. No, we want to structure it in a way where things can thrive right here in Jamaica. Jamaican people would say, Jamaicans are ups. What are we doing in Winter Olympics? What are we doing? We never see snow yet, but we're there winning Winter Olympics, right? What are we doing? We train, right? We do this. We probably train in dirt. But, we go through snow and it's an easier travel. But let me tell you something. That's one thing that shows that we Jamaicans, we don't look at boundaries at all. We are big in our pursuits. And so we have to keep moving and pushing. And I'm so happy that Doc said that while the East is here flourishing, we ought not to forget that over there in the West, there are persons there who are still trying to get back on their feet. And so even with the businesses and such, look for the ways in which you can actually be of help and solution to our people in the western parts because they need us. They need us. All of Jamaica should be growing together. So, and also, for the team, PIOJ team, I'm petitioning that next year Doc gets his own slot in the entertainment segment as a comedian. That first joke was Stella Doc. You had some members of your team who were like, oh, here we go again. We heard this one before. But I'm like, no, I've never heard it. So, Doc, tell your joke, please. Tell your joke, please. And I want to give you your nice half-an-hour slot for next year, Doc. Anybody with me? Doc deserves his half-an-hour slot for jokes. Thank you. So next year we can say, of course, you know, Dr. Henry, PIOJ, you know, head honcho and comedian. We can just add that to the title. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on. Listen, we're going to be hearing right now some perspectives from our Jamaican people. We had a roving camera out there asking a valid question. What can be done to encourage productivity in making Jamaica a better place? We got some responses, and we're going to be playing that video for you on the screens and right there where you are at home watching us. Here we go.
I would take a greater interest in the overall political process because that is what is going to determine what legislation gets passed to improve life and to make things more efficient. We need a far more efficient transportation system than we currently have. So if we can get those two things done, I think we'll be well on the way to creating the space that Jamaicans really want to live and work and raise families and do business.
They need to teach financial education in school, from primary school, that children are more aware and spending and how to go about finding their own notch in life where they can make something of themselves.
We have to go inside ourselves. Inside ourselves is all the creation. That any product you want, you have to go inside of yourself and bring it out. When you bring it out, you master it.
We need ambulances for the local hospital. I think there should be more help for the elderly. We need funding for the elderly, especially like the pension. Their pension's not enough. And then the children, nursery places, a lot more affordable places for parents with children so that the parents can go back to work. So I believe that young people need more jobs.
By focusing on yourself. As a fitness coach, I realized a lot of persons is moving less. Obesity is on the horizon. High blood pressure. There's so many things that's out there right now. And we as Jamaicans are moving less. We're not as active as we used to be or we should be. I think if we look within ourselves as individuals and try to prioritize fitness, I think that's an excellent way we can really make Jamaica a better place.
Each person should have a vision. As far as the country is concerned, I think Vision 2030, while it is a vision that is supposed for the country, I don't think everyone is vested in it. So if the entire country is working and visioning towards the same thing, then all of us would be working towards a long-term goal. And the individual has a stake in it as well. So I think productivity can be increased if all of us, individually and collectively, know what we're working for and not just a paycheck to paycheck. Love Jamaica.
Love Jamaica.
Love Jamaica. Love Jamaica.
And of course, love Jamaica.
Very well said. Can we applaud them, please? I just love to hear our Jamaicans, you know, be very on point in their ideas and in their remarks. And that was such a lovely on-point video there. We can hear it. Our Jamaican people know what they want, and they have great ideas. And so, you know, we thank them very much for participating in that. And that's the reason why sharing your ideas, even when you think nobody's hearing you online, is important. Make use of the platform that you have in giving ideas. And I'm sure that the Planning Institute of Jamaica is always open to hearing those ideas as well. So thank you to those persons who would have participated in that video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we invite to the stage a representative of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce to bring us remarks. We are inviting to this stage Mrs. Latoya Richards Franklin. She provides strategic and technical leadership at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, overseeing its technical directorate under the guidance of the Permanent Secretary. She offers expert advice on a wide range of portfolio matters, and no doubt about it, we're going to have a little bit of that this morning. Please give her a rousing round of applause as she makes her way to the stage.
Great morning, everyone. How are we feeling this morning? Great? I don't think I'm convinced. You feeling airy? All right, wonderful to see you all. Our Master of Ceremony, Mrs. Debbie Bassoon, Dr. Wayne Henry, Director General Planning Institute of Jamaica, Mrs. Rochelle White, Senior Technical Advisor to the Director General, PIOJ, Mr. Sidney Thwaites, Immediate Past President, Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Mrs. Kamisha Turner-Blake, Executive Director, JMEA, Mark Frankson, Vice President, JMEA, Ms. Karima Munsi, Vice President, JMEA, Professor Loy Waller, Executive Director, Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, Mr. Joseph Cox, host, Caribbean Business Review and Managing Partner of the Institute for Innovation and Growth, colleagues from the various ministries, departments, and agencies, or private sector and civil society partners, special invited guests, students, and fellow Jamaicans in person and online. Wonderful day to you all. It is really a pleasure to be here. I think we have an opportunity to pause and reflect on what truly matters, which is our people, our culture, who we are at the heart, and our love for our beautiful country, right? So events like this reminds us that Jamaica's development journey is not just about our plans and policies, although we speak a lot about that in our Vision 2030 and our visioning overall. But it's really about you, the people, the culture, and our purpose. Let me begin by acknowledging our partners, particularly the Planning Institute of Jamaica, and to commend the organizers of this Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Fest for creating a space that is both meaningful and relatable. This festival captures something powerful, the idea that loving Jamaica is not passive, it is active. It shows up in what we create, how we do business, and how we support one another. At the Ministry of Industry and Investment and Commerce, dubbed Jamaica's Business Ministry, one of our roles is to create an enabling environment where Jamaicans can turn ideas into opportunities, talent into income, and culture into commerce. Our work reaches into everyday life through a network of more than 20 agencies and departments and support business development, trade, innovation, standards, consumer confidence, you name it, right across Jamaica. I always say we are at the center of everything that's happening in the country. Everything passes through us. We are consulted on something of, whatever it is that is happening in the country, it has to come in some shape or form to us for review, for feedback, and so on, and to direct, of course. So together, the ministry and its portfolio entities form an ecosystem that helps Jamaican enterprises to grow, adapt, and recover. And I'll add transition, because we are now focusing on getting ourselves on a path to higher growth, and it's especially important given what we had encountered last year. Now, this ecosystem is part of the economic and trade resilience of the Jamaican economy. Hence, when we talk about resilient growth, we are not speaking in abstract terms. Our responsibility as a business ministry requires deliberate interventions that ensure small businesses remain open during tough times. So we're talking about helping creatives find new markets and diversify. We're talking about helping entrepreneurs adapt to change and to build livelihoods that last. And we're talking about growth that is inclusive and growth that creates space for young people, women, MSMEs, communities, you name it, right across the island. Now, several of our agencies play a particularly important role in this effort. Through the Jamaica Promotions Corporation, also known as JAMPRO, we help businesses and creatives access new markets and connect to global opportunities. Through the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, BSJ, we help ensure that Jamaica produces and meets quality standards that can allow us to build trust at home and abroad. Through the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, JIPO, we help innovators and creatives protect and benefit from what they imagine. And through the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, we We support MSMEs with training and technical assistance, especially at the community level, where resilience is often tested first. Together, these efforts help build an economy that is not only productive, but adaptable. That commitment to resilience was clearly demonstrated in recent months at Border, a unique street gastronomy hub in St. Elizabeth, actually at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, where restoration efforts led to the reopening of 51 business kiosks. For the vendors and families affected, this was not just about infrastructure. It was about livelihoods, dignity, and the ability to get back to work. That is what resilience looks like when it is done right. This people-centered approach is also reflected in our partnership with the Planning Institute of Jamaica. In 2025, the ministry partnered with the PIOJ on the MSME Business Roadshows, taking business support and opportunity directly into communities across the island. Those roadshows were not just about presentations, they were about listening and connecting, and about ensuring that inclusive growth reaches people where they live and where they work. More recently, that partnership continued through the 10th staging of the Best Practice Symposium for Social and Community Development, held under the theme Reintegration for Sustainable Community Development, Bridging Gaps, Building Futures. This symposium focused on how involuntary returned migrants and persons formerly in conflict with the law can be supported as they integrate and contribute meaningfully to national development. A powerful feature of the symposium was the Local Economic Initiative Expo, which created a marketplace for small businesses, including entrepreneurs seeking reintegration to showcase high-quality Jamaican products and services. What we saw there was resilience in action. Agro-processors, manufacturers, wellness providers, artisans, and beauty entrepreneurs building livelihoods, restoring dignity, and strengthening communities through enterprise. From mixed perspective, that's the business ministry, this matters deeply because resilience is not only about systems, it is about access, opportunity, and second chances. This is why the Love Jamaica initiative resonates so strongly with us. National pride is not just emotional, it is economic. When Jamaicans believe in the value of what we create and produce, we strengthen our economy from inside out. Jamaica's culture is one of our greatest assets. Our music, stories, fashion, and food are globally recognized. But beyond being symbols of identity, they are also sources of innovation and economic opportunity. At MIC, we are focused on building the bridges that allow culture to more confidently move into commerce, supported by modern tools, strong systems, and fair access. That is why today's fireside chat, which I'm participating in, entitled Resilient Growth from Culture to Commerce, Digital Expansion and Value Change, is so timely. It speaks directly to how we connect with Jamaica and connect what Jamaica does best to sustainable markets and future-ready industries. To the young people and creatives here today, I want to say this clearly. Jamaica's future is not something you are waiting to inherit. It is something you are shaping right now. Whatever your craft, your skill, or your idea, your contribution matters. Loving Jamaica means believing that your ideas have value and recognizing that development is a shared responsibility among government, the private sector, civil society, citizens, and the diaspora. As we look forward to the 2026 staging of the Love Jamaica Fest, theme Jamaica, My Valentine, falling deeper in love, let us remember that falling deeper in love with Jamaica is not just about celebration, it is about commitment. Commitment to building responsibly, supporting local talent, and working together to create a more resilient future. At the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, we remain committed to doing our part, keeping Jamaica's people and potential at the center of our development journey. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Can we put our hands together again one more time for that presentation? So very well said. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for that presentation, Mrs. Latoya Richards-Franklin. I love what she said. National pride is not just an emotional thing. It's also about the economy. One of our biggest cultural contributors said a hungry man is an angry man. And we have to give ourselves permission to excel and to do right by our well-being. And it's not just talking about it really, but it is really and truly stepping out, getting to understand what it means to earn from what we have here in Jamaica. And if you think that what we have here don't valuable, please, I beg you, take a trip a foreign, please. Because once you reach inside the airport and you say, I am a Jamaican, when I tell you, man, it's no longer a border or a boundary. You know, sometimes first time people say, oh, you can't go to foreign and speak patois. They want you as a Jamaican over there to speak patois. It is your ticket to access being a Jamaican. It is your ticket to a better life being a Jamaican. And especially right here in Jamaica, if we are able to build the structure and the framework around it so people can come into our island home and enjoy it, man, we're winning big time. And so we say big thanks to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce for being here and being a part of this festival. Of course, endorsing and underscoring the importance of us building stronger. As the Prime Minister said it, you know, we're not building back, you know, we're building forward stronger. That is absolutely important in a people-centered way. So we say big thanks again to the Ministry and also again to Mrs. Richards-Franklin for her presentation. Can we put our hands together again for her one more time? Thank you. Now listen, we're about the music, we're about the culture, we're about, of course, commerce and so much more. And today we have with us a gentleman, a very talented one, first place winner of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Song Competition for 2025. He did the song Jamaica Don't Falter. And he's here to perform it for us. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please, for Malik Richards.
Them not believe in it. Jamaica. J-Y-S-P-Y-J, tell them we not play. Oh, if we have drama, when 876 set the world order, but tell them, J, don't falter. A part 2 just like it's a saga. Yo, Jamaica don't falter. But tell them, J, don't falter. Me say 2 times, enough food and water. Yo, Jamaica the boss. Yo, Jamaica have the cool breeze, big it up. Man, it's water, it have a pour in my cup. Love and laughter, J.M. love enough. A man pour sugar water up in my cup. Independence, the place get lively. We give thanks to the Lord Almighty. Hey, I J.A. on the fire. I tell them we bring the heat, no lighter. Yo, Jamaica well sweet. Tell them, say, we don't beat. Hey. Bye. Bright smile if you're looking at the sunlight. The sunrise if you want to see the. Your brown eyes if you want to see the blue skies and the moonlight if you like to see the nighttime. Bright smile if you're looking at the sunrise. Your brown eyes if you're looking at the sunlight. Your brown eyes if you want to see the blue skies and the moonlight if you like to see the nighttime. Hey, if you like to see the nighttime. If you like to see the nighttime. If you like to see the. So oh, if we have drama, when 876 set the world order, me tell them J.A. don't falter. A part 2 just like it's a saga. Yo, Jamaica don't falter. Me tell them J.A. don't falter. Me say 2 times land of food and water. Yo, Jamaica the, hey, Jamaica the best. Number 1, no one contest. We love God, say no thing blessed. Other country want try we are the best. One more time. So if we have drama, when 876 at the world, tell them J.A. don't falter. A part 2 just like is a hey. Jamaica don't falter. Me tell them J.A. don't falter. Me say 2 times, none of food and water. Yo, none of food and water. Yo, yes. Me tell them we are the. Me tell them we are the best. Me tell them we are the. Me tell them J.A. are the best. GIS, POIG. Thank you guys for having me. Big respect.
We can't see why he won last year, right? Jamaica don't falter, and then altar, and then altar. I don't know this song, I'm sorry. Listen, you're gonna have to teach me this song, please. Our people are so talented. One more time for him, please. Big tune. Jamaica don't falter. Please, guys, please stream it. Book him for your events. Want to make him into the next star. All right, well, listen, because this event is about not only talking about Jamaica and the reason why we are the champions of the world, but it's also geared at recognizing, acknowledging the contribution of Jamaicans and a Jamaican inside this room that has been doing brilliantly well in her pursuits. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to a very special moment in our program. The presentation of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Champion Award. This award recognizes more than attendance or visibility. It celebrates consistent engagement, authentic enthusiasm, and unwavering support for the Vision 2030 Jamaica journey. And wow, it has been a journey. Our awardee is someone who has followed Vision 2030 Jamaica for years, not quietly, but actively, whether by liking, commenting on, or resharing our post. This individual has continuously helped to amplify the message of national development and civic responsibility. Their engagement reflects a genuine commitment to Jamaica's progress and a belief in the power of informed and active citizenship. Over time, this person has also been the recipient of several Vision 2030 Jamaica social media giveaways, a testament to their consistent presence and participation within our online community. Well, today, we recognize that engagement matters. Every like, every comment, every share, it helps to strengthen the conversation around Jamaica's future. So it is therefore my pleasure to welcome and invite Dr. Wayne Henry to the stage to make this very special presentation, the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Champion Award, to a truly dedicated supporter of the Vision 2030 Jamaica movement. And this Champion Award goes to Mrs. Charnette Bud. Charnette, come on up, come on up, come on up. She is a champion in her colors. That's right, hey. Champion bones, champion bones. You're going to have to bounce to Dr. Henry now. Come ready. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows Charnette is a champion. Congratulations, Charnette. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for celebrating our Love Jamaica mission. And you have more things to get in. Look there. There you go. Come here, please. Charnette, come here, please. Charnette. Hi, Charnette, come here. Charnette, you've watched the Grammy Awards, right? Yeah. This is our Grammys. Okay. This is where you get to thank God, thank your mommy, you know.
This one totally took me off guard. I am very grateful to be born in the best country in the world. And I've always told people that I am a proud Jamaican. I'm a Jamaican girl. And I always encourage everyone to support the National Development Plan of Jamaica. I want everyone to know that Jamaica is the place of choice to live, to work, to raise our families, and to do business. Cheers to the Vision 2030 team. Thank you for all that you do, and God bless Jamaica land we love.
Give it up for our champion girl. Congratulations, Charlotte Ford, our Love Jamaica champion. Well, with all that excitement, oh, she has fans in the audience. Guys, don't bomb rush her all at once, please. She'll sign autographs later, all right? Well, we are going to be turning our attention now to product, because the truth is, we don't often stop, right, to consider the soul of the process of productizing, as we call it. As we move to our next segment, I want to ask you one question, really and truly. Let's be honest here. When was the last time you looked at a locally made product and felt a genuine sense of self-pride? Like, wow, this was really made in Jamaica. When was the last time? Home choice, I know you don't have a choice in the matter. But we do that for sure. For the persons who can inside here say boldly and proudly, yes, we do that every day. Kudos to you. To explore the connection, we're going to be moving to our spotlight talk, falling deeper in love with what we create, why manufacturing matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be welcoming to the stage our presenter, Mrs. Kamisha Blake, Executive Director at the JMEA, and she has served as the Executive Director of the JMEA since 2022, Jamaica's leading business development organization, primarily focused on advocating for and providing technical support to drive the growth of manufacturers and exporters. Under her leadership, Mrs. Turner Blake advances economic growth through strategic policy and program development. Her impactful career, includes pivotal roles at JAMPRO, the PIOJ, and the PSOJ, championing initiatives that support MSMEs and economic growth and development. A trailblazer and distinguished alumna of York Castle High School. Anybody inside there from York Castle? Okay, she's the only one, that's fine. Mrs. Turner Blake holds a bachelor degree in economics and international relations and a master's degree in economic development policy from the University of the West Indies, graduating top student in 2011. Her commitment to national development is evident in her service as Jamaica Youth Ambassador to CARICOM 2008 to 2010, and her crowning as Miss Jamaica Festival Queen in 2009. And so, ladies and gentlemen, she has done so much, and this is the reason why, undoubtedly, she is where she is today. Please put your hands together, and let's welcome her to the stage, Mrs. Kamisha Blake. Give her a minute. She's setting up shop. You know, Damian Marley says set up shop. She's doing her thing, right? Setting up shop. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that these are all Jamaican products here on this stage. Put your hands together, please, for the things that come from Jamaica. Made right here in Jamaica. And look at the standard. Look at the packaging, right? I know sometimes we pass these products on the shelves and we're thinking, oh, but this looks like it come from somewhere else. No. Made right here in Jamaica, land we love. We're giving her a few more minutes. You can't leave out the bottle of rubbing alcohol, you know, it's flu season, so And the 2 crackers, then we can't leave out the soft crackers. I know somebody inside here has a couple of them in the bag right now. Just in case. Just in case lunch is late. You walk with the crackers wrapped up nicely. There you go. And now I think the shop is now open. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for her, please.
Wow. Morning, everyone. No, man, that's not the type of energy that we have here. Wagwan, everybody. Yeah, everything good? Yeah, man, greetings. And trust me, I'm trying to find something in my bag. And then I realized that my tablet is back here. But yeah, that's how it is when you're hungry in the morning. I have 3 kids. Yes, I had all 3 of them while I was at the PIOJ. You know, the country said I needed kids. So I was in the growth inducement program. And so the country, we had a target of 5 in 4. And so I ensured that I did my part of the growth, which was giving the country 3 kids in 5 years. So just in case, yeah, man, just know that Minister Tufton can't call my name. I have done my part. But yes, you know, recently, I see a video come out of a certain person saying, when they miss Jamaica, when they come back from Jamaica, the first thing they get is a... Yeah, man. And I don't know about you, but whenever I am overseas, there's this nostalgic feeling. You just want to go in your yard. When you go in a restaurant, you're like, oh, what kind of food is? You're like, you want to talk to the chef. You want to tell them, say, listen, the food not tastes good. When they get at drinks, one of them people beer, you want to say to them that something is missing. Right? And I'm sure I am not the only one who feels like this. Even if the thing didn't come from Jamaica, we make it Jamaican, because one of the things that I also do is measure even the people in KFC against our KFC here in Jamaica. Because we know that anything that comes to Jamaica, we make it Jamaican. Anyways, but not lie, we don't look good. I never imagined that black, green, and gold would stand for love. Yeah. We see that we're adding a little red. Tomorrow is Valentine's, and those who are in love, raise your hands. No, man, let me try that again. Don't I look like I am in love? Are you in love? How many there are love fest and not in love? Come on, today, the love is the warmth of celebrating us as Jamaicans. Not lie, when I look good, when I look like I'm in love, I see plenty black, green, and gold in the place. And so we have adopted love being Jamaican. Right? Now, I don't know about you, but I love being Jamaican. And I've heard many of you who come up here before speaking about this love, the culture, the vibes. And believe you me, if I never born Jamaican, I would tell my parents, unhave me and start again, go back to Jamaica, go have me. And I know that, especially DG, who love to dance, you love to dance, he would not have been anybody else but a Jamaican, right? Now, when someone see Karima and thinks that Karima come from somewhere else, and she open her mouth and she say, yo, wagwan, they shock. Because again, they can't understand Muslim, Jamaican. But Jamaica is a vibes. Jamaica, we have our own language, we have our own music, we have our dance, and our culture is rich. Now, yes, I'm here to talk about manufacturing. But many people recognize our culture and our influence on the world based on music and sports. Every nook and cranny that, someone can refer to Bob Marley. Some child is out there saying, I want to be like Usain Bolt, or I want to be like Shelley and Fraser Price. But long before those people, I want to tell you that Jamaica has been making its mark globally through manufacturing. And you believe that? Who knows that? Who doesn't believe? Like, your face is like, is she serious? Now, way back in slavery, Jamaica was always a powerhouse. We had sugar. Yes? I had to bring my brown sugar to represent because, again, culturally, Jamaica had the plantations, and sugar and rum has always been a dominant part of our culture. So manufacturing has always been there. It is a part of the way that Jamaica has been sharing its culture to the world. Appleton, Red Stripe, sorry, I can't find my opener, but my directors are here, and a part of the handbook said that you should not be drinking on the job. So I'll hold it down. I saw some people asking if I'm going to share the beer. Check me outside later. But yes, a part of our culture is to have these rich products, quality products that we proudly manufacture here. The manufacturing industry employs 85,000 people. It continues to be the most dominant good producing sector. We add value to the economy. And what I want to say to you here today is that being in love with your culture is knowing that we have quality products that we embrace here, but more importantly, people enjoy it elsewhere. Somewhere in the world, someone is enjoying a Red Stripe beer right now. Believe me, someone is enjoying an Appleton rum and knowing that it is premium. So why are we here in Jamaica doubting what we make when they have to pay listen, they will pay any amount of money to get a Jamaican product right now. So embracing and loving your culture is not when you go overseas and the little things start hook you for say, boy, the food and miss some scotch bonnet, and you can take up a home choice off Walmart shelf. But it's embracing it here in Jamaica by buying Jamaican products. So when you go to the supermarket, first thing you have to do is to read your labels. Those who do that. Intentional. That's what I want you to know. Love is intentional. So when you love your products, you have to go there and make sure, say, whatever you take up is Jamaican. I give you one joke. I don't know if I can compete with DG, but, 13 years ago, I was working at the JMA, and a young man decided to court me. He eventually became my husband. But the first time I went to that young man's house, I went to his bathroom, and guess what I did? I picked up the tissue, I turned it around, and I read the label. The young man tissue never made in Jamaica. And I said to him then and there, bossy, I don't think it can work. You can't have good woman like me a wipe with made in China tissue. No. If you are serious about this, you have to know where quality comes from. Made in Jamaica. So the next time I visited, you know where the tissue came from? And just like that, the man love started becoming. That's it, ladies. The man love started becoming intentional. So just like that, no, he started visiting places with me, and he started talking the talk and matching. So just like that, if you're court a young lady, make sure that, again, she knows quality. And in knowing quality, she will embrace the things that are Jamaican. And I want to tell her something. Jamaica doesn't just have food. We have non-traditional stuff. We now start seeing a lot of other products coming out of our country. So be it that if it's cosmetic or hair products, yes. You want to ensure again that when you go wherever, yes, Joseph, come. No, man, come and give him that. Because clearly, he doesn't know our brand. So this is Zimmy, proudly produced by anybody can guess who produced Zimmy. I'll give you a gift. DG? No, man, I see that I have only 3 minutes remaining. So, not my members, but quickly, anybody that can name who produces this, I give you a gift. I'm just a bean. Oh, God. No. We're not doing this today. DG? Zimmy? Yeah, Zimmy. But, who? Oh, Lord. Give it to them? I see Sydney said, give it to them. Come, let me embrace you here. Here you go, Charmaine. Do you want me to touch a little in your hair? See me at the front afterwards. But yes, I want to say that Jamaica, we now make a lot of non-traditional things. DG wondering a Wakamisha spray. But just like your ear products, you smell that, you start smelling that? We make a lot of chemical products. This is an air freshener locally made. Proudly say that. Come, Joseph. I see your face again. I want to give Joseph something, you know. And I think at the end of this, I'll have Joseph DJing saying something by Jamaican, build Jamaica. Because again, Joseph, if you don't read your labels, you don't know. You smell it? All right. So you want to do an endorsement?
To test it first.
But you're smelling it. But guys, again, the manufacturing industry, we employ 85,000 people. And we have to be very intentional with what we do. He's in love. That's why he's stuck right here. He's in love. Don't worry, Joseph. That's it there. And whenever we go to the supermarket, the hardware, the pharmacy, again, guys, ensure that our love penetrates. And how it does that, it's ensuring that we read our labels, ensure that we are keeping our money in the economy. We can't tax ourselves out of poverty. I know right now, many of us, especially the economists, we're now wondering what just happened yesterday. The key thing is that we must be producing, especially as a small country. Long time people keep on saying how a small country must be digging manufacturing. It's very important. If we don't create, if we don't ideate, if we don't innovate and produce, then we'll have to keep on importing. And importation robs us of our wealth. Manufacturing is about adding value, and I'm always proud to say this comes from Jamaica. The best coffee, it comes from Jamaica. The best alcohol, it comes from Jamaica. The best teas, it comes from Jamaica. Hot chocolate was invented. It sounds like you don't know the history. And this is the thing, without you knowing your history, how are you going to fall in love? So let's be very intentional now. Every time you go to the supermarket or wherever, make sure that you read the labels and you embrace buying Jamaican to build Jamaica. Come, DG, let's try this, because I love when you have the vibes. Come, Karima, we're going to have our people here just saying, buy Jamaican, build Jamaica. Where's the DJ? The DJ gone already? Where's the music? Where's the, come here, man.
Kamisha, I forgot to talk about pepper shrimp made in Jamaica and now being copied all over the world, made by yours truly, Karima Munsi. It was the first product on the market. Now we have about 5 or 6 companies in Jamaica and overseas copying the brand pepper shrimp. So this is a traditional Jamaican product.
And who knows this product? Who wants this product right now? Yeah, man, come taste it. Let the people them know. So where's the musician? Where are the musicians? Come on, we're going to do a vibes buy Jamaican, build Jamaica shout out, right? I know you never get paid for this, but we have to do this before we go, because when people are in love, them happy. And this is happiness, right? Yeah. So DJ, we're going to call it DJ right now. And I think we're going to come down off the stage because you're that tall. Oh, Lord. So Karima have her own jingle.
But everybody have to sing with me. Can't sing, right? I'm an Banya. I na leave ya. We go America. What a boy, yeah. Sweet Jamaica.
Yes, sweet Jamaica. By Jamaica. What you say?
That's it now, DJ.
By Jamaica.
So ready, band? We're ready? We're ready? All right,
What we say? By Jamaica.
By Jamaica, build Jamaica. By Jamaica, build Jamaica. By Jamaica, build Jamaica.
Hot pepper.
Hot pepper.
By Jamaica, build Jamaica. Hot pepper.
Hot pepper. By Jamaica, build Jamaica.
Red stripe.
Red stripe, put the sorry. Me tell them to me. We got
patty.
We got patty. Hey, we got
paprika.
That's spicy. Tell them, say them never have to like we. What? We got the coffee. We tell them, so we got the coffee.
By Jamaica,
we
build Jamaica.
By Jamaica, build Jamaica. By Jamaica, build Jamaica. By. Hey, we got the cream crackers. We tell them, so we never yet. Hey, it are the best. Yo, tell them can't test. Hey, we so we better than the rest.
By Jamaica,
build Jamaica. By Jamaica, build Jamaica. By Jamaica, build Jamaica.
Hot pepper.
Hot pepper.
Cream cracker.
A cream cracker.
Paprika.
A paprika. Hey,
tissue.
Them want feature. Hey, tell them a paprika.
By Jamaica.
By Jamaica. By Jamaica. By Jamaica. Build Jamaica. By Jamaica. Build Jamaica. By Jamaica. Build Jamaica. By Jamaica. Build Jamaica.
Put your hands together for By Jamaica, build Jamaica.
Tell them.
To Kamisha.
Best.
Well done, young man.
All right, guys. And again, remember, love is. Let's try that again. Remember that love is. So you must read the labels and make sure it says product of Jamaica. Big up yourselves.
No, you're not going to get that little flimsy round of applause. Put your hands together, please. By Jamaica, build Jamaica. 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 Book Dr. Henry, hey, for Reggae Sumfest this year, hey. Now, can you put our hands together, please, one more time for Mrs. Kamisha Blake, Executive Director for the JMEA. What a wonderful, powerful, passionate presentation. Any proud Jamaicans in the house after that? Okay. My gosh, man. And a beautiful reminder, really, about the power of reading your labels. Ensure that you're buying Jamaican. I love to see when I'm reading a label and I just see made in Jamaica on it. I say, we're not just there for music and jerk alone and all them someday. We have so many things that we are offering the world. And we must absolutely be intentional with our love and make sure that you're buying Jamaican. All right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, after that very vibrant performance, and Dr. Henry is now taking bookings. So please call the PIOJ's head office, please. Who's the manager? Oh, yeah, doctor. Yeah, all right, exactly. See, Mrs. Blake is going to be taking the bookings for Dr. Henry going forward. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some entertainment for you. This morning we have D. Burns and DMG. So without further ado, and let me tell you something. This gentleman was in Las Vegas representing for Jamaica's culture in the Bob Marley series that they were doing over there. Yes. So he is a big international name and face. Don't take him lightly. And a powerful performer. So please put your hands together, please, and let's welcome D Burns to the stage.
Them try clip we wings, somehow we can't fly out. But when we there, yard, nothing no nice like Jamaica, rose, breadfruit and banana. Under the tree with a glass of lemonade, me jumping at the river when me ready for bed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you know the chorus, and I wanna hear everybody singing. Me now singing, gonna sing it with me. Jamaica love, Jamaica love. Yeah, I wanna feel Jamaica love. All right now, everybody wanna visit Jamaica. Jamaica love, sing it with me again. Jamaica love, I wanna feel Jamaica love. All right now, I wanna sing it one more time. Play it little because I wanna hear them, everybody. I wanna hear you sing Jamaica love. Everybody now. Even if I Jamaica love alone and no sing that part there. And everybody wanna visit Jamaica. Your time again. Jamaica. Jamaica love. We wanna feel Jamaica love. And I say, everybody wanna visit Jamaica. Jamaica love. Jamaica. Ooh, why? Oh, lo, 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 lo. Start with rhythm or something. Give me a rhythm. Put them on the light. And then we go so now. Ooh, I met a girl this morning. She was love at first sight. Ooh, I met a girl this morning. And she was beauty to my eyes. I asked her where she from, she tell me in the tropics. She asked me what's my name, I tell her I am D Burns. And then I said, girl, tell me what's your name. She tell me that her name is Jamaica. And I said, smile, girl, smile. Smile for, I want to see all the ladies smiling. Smile, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And never you cry, here am I. I'm here for you, Jamaica. Wipe your eyes, girl. One of the boys, I give me your dub boys, give me your dub boys. No one what I say. She have a rich stream, a beautiful, with the sweetest kiss, a beautiful sunrise with the boy, and a sunset with it. And then I say, you know, but she tell me, say she tired of the exploits and the liars. She get them, and get them, and the fern, all she gets is abuse in return. And I say, don't you worry yourself, mama, because I am here for your help, mama. I say, and don't you worry yourself, mommy. I say, one thing me, I beg you do. Sing it, you know, and we say, smile, girl, smile. Me soon I smile long time, and I say, girl, just smile. Girl, I see you smiling. I'm here for you, Jamaica. Here am I. Oh, I'm here for you, Jamaica. Girl, chorus one more time. I want to hear everybody sing. And I say, girl, just smile. Girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Say smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. I know I say smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Last time. I say smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Answer line. Whoa, Lord. Ooh, yeah. Our heart salute Jamaica. Triumphant, proud and free. Proud and free. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
relive the awards ceremony for the Vision 2030 Jamaica Poetry and Song Competition, a celebration of the creativity and inventiveness of Jamaica's youth in expressing their love for Jamaica. Relive the special meeting of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Youth Thematic Working Group held in December 2025, promoting empowered, enabled youth leadership and participation in national development.
I'm here at the Special Technical Working Group meeting, really where we bring Youth Month to a closure. We're able to host Youth Month, though not the usual modality as young people would have been accustomed to. We basically supported our national relief efforts in really doing community relief, distributing care packages across Jamaica. Through the support of our Youth Month Planning Committee, our various youth organizations, the National Secondary Student Council, Jamaica Prefecture Body, the National Youth Council of Jamaica, the Youth Advisory Council, the Youth Parliamentarians, were able to distribute over 1,000 care packages in the most affected and rural underserved communities. We continue support to the ministry as we transform Jamaica. We encourage our young people to stay connected, stay resilient, stay hopeful, and continue to lead the charge of youth development in Jamaica. I thank you.
Or Fireside Chat, celebrating the contributions of the Jamaican people to national development, delivered an engaging, high-energy exchange that sparked reflection and inspiration. A big thank you to Dr. Herbert Gale and Mr. Joseph Cox for an unforgettable discussion. Watch to relive the moment and catch standout excerpts from both speakers.
There is a small country that competes with all of these powerful countries. And I'll show you how it competes. Track and field. If you take the 5 fastest men in history, 3 are from Jamaica. Does that even make sense? And then if you want to double the trouble, move over to the women. Out of the top 5, we have 2.
Look at somebody like Dr. Henry, look. Cannabis, we use that for glaucoma and other such things. We have people like Arthur Brown. Arthur Brown, the first central bank governor, was not just that. He has been involved in the past development of some 5-year development plans, industrial policies, etc. These are strategic transformative mechanisms. Our achievements are being hailed globally in terms of the economic transformation in this country.
All right, so lovely moments there, lovely moments, and I think our online audience, they are enjoying a little bit of what happened last year in our recap videos. And while we're doing that, we're allowing the team at the JIS to set up the stage for our fireside chat. In the meantime, I'm going to move on from this table. This table has been winning a lot of things for morning. We're going to move on. I have a grab bag, okay? And inside the grab bag, you can actually pick something that will allow you to walk away with something really nice. Anybody want to walk away with something very nice today? You put on your glasses for the mission. I love that. All right, come. Dig deep, dig deep. Big money, big money, big money. Now you're clapping for him. All of a sudden, you remember, say him sit down here. So for the whole time this morning, you've been ignoring him. All of a sudden, you want friendship. You know some want a piece of the prize, right? Let's see what you have there on the paper. Okay, what does it say?
You have won a Vision 2030 Jamaica teacup.
You've won? What? Without doing anything at all, you win it just so? Sean, do we have the teacup? We have the teacup, guys? We can't tell a gentleman saying win things and we don't have to. Where's the teacup, please? Coming up, okay, and we have the crackers from JMEA for you as well. Because you know you can't have tea without 2 tough crackers. It eliminates a lot of pain. A lot of pain. How do you feel about winning a teacup?
Great.
Great. I think so too. That's lovely. Okay, let me go over here to this lovely lady. Big money, big money, big money. Dip into the bag. Let's see what this paper says. It says...
Sing a Jamaican song with the word reggae.
Over to you.
No. Reggae.
Anybody want to...
Night. We come together when we're feeling right. Ooh, oh, reggae.
She should get a basket. Who's giving out baskets today? Can we have a basket for her, please? Reggae night is a big tune, you know. Not many people remember reggae night, you know. We're going to ensure that you get something nice. Oh, you're getting something in a nice box. There you go. There you go. Coming over here. Coming over. You don't want a prize? You want a prize? Of course you want a prize. Dip into the bag for me, please. You're not singing? You have a lovely accent. You should sing. I'd love to hear you singing a reggae song in that accent. You know, UB40, right? Ah, there you go. All right. Well, let's see what your paper says. It says...
In what ways has Jamaica been resilient?
Oh, you know, this is easy. Here you go.
In all ways.
But give us like 2 examples, like...
Building back forward and working with the communities to get their houses rebuilt. Getting the farmers to start growing new crops.
Oh, you win me right at farmers, sir. Congratulations. Congratulations. Please give him his prize. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Good. And let's see who else. I know this gentleman. Hello, sir. Good to see you, Prof. Dig deep. No, it's not, you know, so we're not do them something around these parts. No cat into any bag.
All right. You have won a Vision 2030 Jamaican battle.
Just so. Just because you're there, you win something nice. Thank you so much for being here, sir. He will not even ask him no question. He's a man of knowledge, you know, so he know everything already. Can we get a prize for him, please? Thank you so much, sir, for being here. And over here at this table, because this lady has been so engaging with her eyes all morning. There you go. Grab something nice. Let's see what the paper says.
Sing a Jamaican song with the word Jamaica. Jamaica love, Jamaica love. We want to.
It's a duet. Come, okay, you just sing part. Let me just give you the microphone as well.
Jamaica love, we want to see Jamaica love. Something like that.
Something like that. It sounds correct. Congratulations, but it's only one prize we have in us. If it's one teacup, we're not going to share it. So one person has it Monday to Wednesdays, and the other person has it from Thursday and Friday. We're going to have to make it work. It's an effort. It's an effort. Are we ready? Yes? We are? Can we applaud all the winners, please, all the participants? And I just want to say we have not neglected this side of the room. In fact, you know what? We're going to give you guys a chance to just dig deep and try. Somebody, go ahead, please. This gentleman have everything, and I don't think you need to win anything more. Right? Your paper says?
You have won a Vision 2030 Jamaica stainless steel mug.
You see why I say win everything? I know he'll give it to somebody who needs it. But congratulations to you, sir, just for being here. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our fireside chat. Just want to tell the online audience that I believe we do have some questions for you. We're going to be placing those inside the chat, I believe. So look out for those. So don't feel left out if you think that only persons inside this room are winning things. No, in fact, we do have an opportunity for you to win something as well. Now, with that said, we are going to be moving into our fireside chat. This one, resilient growth from culture to commerce, digital expansion, and value chains. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I invite to this microphone Mrs. Rochelle White, PIOJ's Senior Technical Advisor to the Director General of the PIOJ, and she's going to be managing this portion of the proceedings. Please make her welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to our host, Ms. Bissoon. This discussion this morning, our fireside chat, is going to be on resilient growth from culture to commerce, digital expansion, and value chains. And mine is the pleasure to introduce the discussants in today's chat. Today's panel brings together leaders from industry and government who are actively shaping Jamaica's manufacturing landscape, digital transformation agenda, and enterprise development framework. Together, they represent experience in production, innovation, policy, export development, and strategic growth. Our first discussant is Mr. Sidney Thwaites, and as I introduce them, I invite them to join me on the stage. Mr. Sidney Thwaites is the immediate past president of the JMEA and chief executive officer of Lubricating Specialties Company Jamaica Limited. Round of applause. Mr. Thwaites has over 30 years of experience spanning financial services, petrochemicals, and manufacturing. He has been instrumental in revitalizing Jamaica's lubricant manufacturing sector and expanding export reach across CARICOM and Central America. His leadership experience also includes advisory roles with the Export-Import Bank of the United States and the Petroleum Quality Institute of America. Next, I invite Mr. Mark Frankson to join me, Vice President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, founder and lead AI consultant for Transcend AI Consulting, as well as the Director of Operations for Designs by Mark Limited. Mr. Frankson brings a forward-looking perspective at the intersection of manufacturing and artificial intelligence, driving digital optimization and operational excellence within Jamaica's industrial sector. I now invite Ms. Karima Munsi, Vice President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and also the CEO of Home Choice Enterprise Limited. And I must say, I have some personal favorites. The peppered shrimp and the ginger extract, those are two of my key products. Ms. Munsi built Home Choice from modest beginnings into a nationally recognized food manufacturing brand exporting to the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada. Her entrepreneurial journey reflects resilience, disciplined growth, and sustained innovation within Jamaica's manufacturing ecosystem. And I recently learned that Ms. Munsi is also the head of the head fundraising coordinator at the Portmore Islamic Center. And I saw recently where you donated something significant to Jamaica's rebuilding efforts. Finally, last but by no means least, I invite Mrs. Latoya Richards Franklin to join me. She's the Chief Technical Director in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and she's an economist and certified project management professional who provides strategic and technical leadership on industrial policy, trade facilitation, ME development, and major reform initiatives, including the Special Economic Zone Policy and Enterprise Policy Frameworks. So help me again to welcome them all to the stage. The discussion will be one that's free-flowing, and it will be started by Mr. Thwaites. So Mr. Thwaites, the stage is now yours.
Morning, everyone. Morning. Everyone can hear me? Wonderful. We've been asked to talk in a discussional way about how we take where we are from a Jamaica culture, the reach of our culture, and how we take that to the building of a business, increasing markets, And then lastly, digitization, innovation. How do we spread that word even more than it has been? This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. If you ask my wife, she would tell you this is all I talk about. Let me frame it just a little. It's been done, but I think it requires a little bit of framing. Through our culture, it punches so far above its weight that if you look at the countries of influence culturally in the world, there is no country of 3 million people that has the reach of Jamaica. Absolutely. If you take the large cultural economies, the UK, US, you could throw in Nigeria, South Korea, you could throw in a bunch of them. You're talking about 300 million people, 200 million people. It is almost ridiculous that Jamaica has the reach that it does. Our entertainers, our musicians, our sound system culture, our athletes, multiplying the culture we have, the uniqueness and the confidence in our culture, and we've got the multiplier effect of the diaspora and our tourism. What we have in front of us is unheard of. But wait, all this was done in challenging economic times from the 60s to the 2000s. This was all done in a time of high crime and challenging social issues. How does that happen? I don't know if you could duplicate it if you wanted to. But where we find ourselves is we've got a decade of an economic stability and fundamentals that Jamaica has not seen in its history. We've got consistently dropping crime, and we've got the cultural reach. So the question to everybody is, what do we do with it? How do we build a business on it? How do we capture more of that value in Jamaica? And we'd be remiss if we didn't say, how do we protect it? And we'd be really remiss in saying, how do we continue to incubate it and support it at home? Because it's not the business leaders that did it. It's the entertainers. Yes, some of our brands are out there driving it as well, and I'm not, that's not to downplay that, but it's really the reach of our culture created in times that were very difficult. So hopefully that frames the discussion a little bit and gives us a perspective. Unless this is meant to be very interactive. So Mark.
So I want to touch on something you said, that our culture was created long before we were here, right? We are carrying on something that existed before us. And in doing so, I think we have a responsibility to ensure that it's protected. I want to play something for you for a second, just to make my point. Listen to this for a minute. DJ. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, don't believe your ears. None of that was real. Not the lyrics, not the music, not the voice, not the struggle that she's singing about. That was all AI generated.
No, I feel bad for bopping my head while the music was playing. I feel terrible now. You shouldn't play tricks like that.
That was AI generated, and the problem is we don't know by whom. It's not necessarily a Jamaican who did that. It's not necessarily a Jamaican producer or writer that created that. And so if we don't digitize our culture and protect it, somebody else will. And I promise you, they will monetize it faster than we can.
I didn't know that, Mark.
Miss Muncie.
Right. I'm thinking that we need to, in building the Jamaican brand, we need to educate the young minds. When I was growing up, it was Nike and everything foreign looking, like Kellogg's cornflakes. You want to buy everything foreign, or you feel like you don't really have nothing in the kitchen. So I'm thinking that we should start the Build Jamaica, Buy Jamaica, Buy Jamaica, Build Jamaica campaign from the schools, educate them from their young. Allow the entrepreneurs in the schools to do what they want to do, because you have the A, B, and C students, and most of us who build empires are actually C students like myself. So the C student is not the everyday A and B students, but there's always this set of kids at school that actually want to do entrepreneurship, but my kids them get detention all the time for selling pepper shrimp at Calabar because they wanted to earn them lunch money. But I never had a choice. I was a single mom, and they had to sell shrimp to make money, so they have to hide. And my phone ring again. Miss Muncie, we caught one of the boys selling shrimp again. So the thing is, nothing is wrong with that. I said, what's wrong with him trying to make his lunch money? You prefer him to sit at school without having food? And that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a really hard place. But the thing is, a lot of people are in that hard place today. So if we try to build the Jamaican minds, have some kind of, I'm not going to distract them from an education, because they're going to form a commerce at school, start a board of commerce, make sure their product is registered at the school, and then they will start entrepreneurship from then. Because everybody is not made to be an A and a B student. That's one of the things. And in protecting our intellectual property, Mark, Sydney, we brainstorm everything to try and protect our intellectual property abroad. You see products made in India with brand Jamaica. In Africa, you see sorrel, Jamaican sorrel, but you see coming from Africa. I don't know how we're going to do that, but by exploring the brand Jamaica in the diaspora, we're targeting about 4 million people overseas, or if not more than that, Jamaican live abroad, plus everybody else who buy Jamaican anyway. So we're actually looking at building out the Buy Jamaica, Build Jamaica brand, and we're hoping that the government will assist us, the JMEA, in promoting that brand.
But Karima, I think too that in an effort to protect our intellectual property, the policies have to change. The policies and the laws that exist now protect an environment when our brand was just being created. And as you would have just heard, it can be mimicked, it can be duplicated in such a way now that is, I think, beyond the current policies. I think we really have to, as they say, think outside the box, but we have to go beyond what exists now to try and protect and hold strong onto what is to come.
Mark, that's very interesting, that song that you played. Common knows that them can duplicate the food and put brand Jamaica, but whenever them trying to sing a reggae song overseas, you always could pick it up. You always could say, oh, I'm trying to sing a reggae song, or that person is trying to do it. But no, that's actually scary. So how do we protect that?
All right. So I'd like to just emphasize that it's a we thing in terms of how we make policy work. We do have in place measures to ensure that our musicians, our artisans are protected. But how many of them know that they can actually ensure that these rights that they have are registered and that they can move to monetize? Not many. And so I know more needs to be done to ensure people are aware, but we want to see more of our artisans coming forward to register your rights and ensure that you can benefit from that through your royalties and so on. We also do have in place arrangements, and that is through the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, right? So we have geographic indications, for instance, that ensure that our rum and our coffee is protected so that not everybody can say, well, this is made in Jamaica. If they do so, they will be in breach because we have over 130 countries that are registered to the Madrid Protocol, which offers collective protection for what we are trying to protect locally. It's important also to recognize that you must see yourselves as businesses. So you have to also register and become a legal entity through the Companies Office so that when you need to challenge another organization in another country, you have your legal standing to say, I am a business, I am registered to do this, this is my brand, I registered this, and you can benefit from the relevant protection that can be offered. I'd like to say that the point about how do we, I think we started off about protection, but then the question is, how do you value something that is of intrinsic value? It goes back to education, but I'd like to say that it's not just about educating, it's about people being aware of the benefits of our culture and the creatives beyond what we can see and hear. When we are stressed out, we know how to play the music, do the dance, and all those things. We sometimes maybe don't recognize what that means on our health in terms of the benefit that occurs later down and what it does in making sure you can live longer. Many people do not make that connection, and so automatically we think about protection in the economic sense because we want to generate revenue, but what is it doing for you as an individual, as a people? And how do you ensure that you own that and you ensure that it becomes yours to keep? And that is something that we need to look at. How do we value something that is of intrinsic value and ensure that we are aware of the weight of that value?
And those are going to be specific to the segment. I know you mentioned in the coffee industry, and I understand that there's an implementation happening at JACRA, who is the coffee board, and there's going to be a way to geographically trace the coffee that comes out of the Blue Mountain so that it can be called Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, and the buyers overseas can have the confidence that it is what it is. So those types of things from a protection standpoint, and it's going to be different in sectors in entertainment, in registering your IP, making sure that we don't have the AI impact on some of our arts. So we get on the protection side. So if we think about how as a business and how as a brand we ride on the culture, and I know all of you guys export to different markets. Talk a little bit about your experience of having your product accepted in those markets. I know we've got some big examples. We can point at Red Stripe, we can point at Appleton, we can point at Wisynco, we can point at Seprod that has the products that are really cross borders. But Karima as a you're not so small anymore, but as a relatively small brand, how have you found that cultural drive of your product and acceptance in other markets?
Well, I would tell everybody that I mentor to make sure your product looks Jamaican. I remember someone coming and they did my marketing. It came from abroad and they did over my whole product label. I just did not use it because your brand have to look Jamaican. I have to say, come and buy me, I look Jamaican. I believe driving that Jamaican look will draw people to purchasing your products. You stick with the core colors, the yellow, the green. I see some local, especially with the cosmetic products. They don't want to look Jamaican, they want to look foreign. So they want to have a foreign look. And that is encouraging the public and the consumer to buy into Jamaica, where you're supporting the farmers, you're supporting the backward linkages, the suppliers or box company who employs persons. So we are, if we can drive that public education to the public, then they will probably buy more Jamaican. If they know that we keep 85,000 persons in a job, then soon a farmer who was as like a farmer would want to grow out his business from a hustle to a bustle.
I think it's a wonderful time to be alive, right? So much technology and digitization allows us to have the world at our reach, right? No matter how small you are, now because of things like Instagram and TikTok, you can promote your own product. You can push it out there. You can determine your budget and get it out there beyond the normal borders that, say, a small farmer with 2 employees or a shopkeeper with 5 employees who's making something can do. So you can now promote your own product.
But you have to get your distribution right.
Right, and I think that's where the local entities can come in and help. But even with, say, mentorship, we have the diaspora. And again, of course, I'm pushing the digital angle because I see so many opportunities where we don't need to get Jamaicans to come to Jamaica physically to have influence and share their knowledge. This is something that can be done over the air. You can reach out to people. They can reach out and mentor. A couple of months ago, I was in Florida, and I walked into a bank. And in that bank, they had 1 employee and 5 screens. Wow. And the 1 employee welcomed you in, and he directed, based on what you want, directed you to a screen, and there you connected with a rep who's sitting somewhere else, not in that physical location. But the rep is on screen, helping you, talking to you, walking you through whatever needs you have. And when you're finished, there's a printer at the bottom of the screen. They print out whatever you need to sign it. There are ways now that we can incorporate the digital technology in expanding our reach for Brand Jamaica globally. Imagine if we take that technology and we now put a screen in the classroom, we can have international talent teaching our students here, showing them how to do the distribution, how we can develop our product even more. We have the brand, we have the knowledge, but what else can we do to get that reach out there? The possibility for me just seems endless.
Mark, I said it's coming together, because are you saying, for example, in school, you have a chemistry lab, a physics lab, all of these things should be in action to actually promote persons at the school who wants to, for example, have a cake or biscuit or cookies or cosmetic that they want to put on the shelf. If we start the kids from in school using a lab, maybe after school hours, and be able to produce their own product from school, they'll be proud of their brand by the time they graduate. By the time I graduated from the Queen's School years ago, I had $50. That was enough money at the time anyway. I was 1983. I had $50. And I remember my son here, that's sitting there when he graduated from Calabar. He had a whopping $500 US, and that was a lot of money at the time because he saved that. He saved that and he used that money to turn over. So when they see how they can turn that 500, and Mark, you gave me an interesting story. I didn't know you were actually coming from where I was. And your mom started in the room, and then you build up from that. So when we share this kind of stories, then I would say to anyone out there, you can't do it by yourself. You have to join associations, Jamaica Manufacturers Association, JBDC, SBJ, and anyone within your field. But you can't do it by yourself.
I'm glad that I'm hearing that because very often we underestimate the value of social capital. That ability to influence others and to be a part of a community is critical for any business to succeed, and especially those in the creatives and the cultural industries. Because so much of what you do has to do with infiltrating different industries and different businesses and different organizations in order to sell your craft. And so it is important for us to ensure that we are promoting social capital. Get into the different associations, get connected, get into the habit of using more technology and collaborating externally so that you can do much more and you can be more exposed. I think sometimes when we hear about AI, we get intimidated because we feel like it's going to take away what we have. Listen, the world knows what Jamaica has, and I think sometimes when I scroll my Instagram almost nightly because I need to catch up, and I do the unconventional media because I find that I get a whole lot of information and I filter my system so that I can get good information, right? But what you will see a lot is where people, the moment something happens in Jamaica, Jamaicans are on the platform and they're doing their thing, and people are connecting and people are growing interested in Jamaica. And I think that is showing us that there is something about us that people want to see and people want to hear and feel and touch. But the question is, how do we ensure that we are collaborating to monetize on that later down and making sure that we are not just doing a little thing, but we are actually formalizing and treating it like a business in terms of how you actually bring other people on board. That is some of the things we need to explore. How does AI assist us in terms of building our brand as individual businesses, as individual artisans, and allow us to go much further than we are today? That's something that we need to. We're a little intimidated, I think. And when we hear the little music playing and so on, we get worried that we're going to lose out on our culture. No, we need to rethink how we get this to make sense. Where's the social capital that I need to combine to my talent in order to do more, to collaborate, to reach the world in a better way? So we need to look at that as well.
I like that you mentioned this idea of the platforms, because it's the people who own the platforms who are going to have control of what comes out of it. I mean, I'll give you an example. It pains me to drive past the craft market downtown because it is empty. There is no foot traffic. But what if we were to have a website like Etsy that is dedicated towards handcraft or specially crafted items, and this is now our online craft market? So our reach goes beyond the foot traffic, beyond the cruise ships, beyond the people who are just walking by in Ocho Rios, but it also brings with it that certain level of authenticity. And I see Kamisha nodding, but it goes back to what she said earlier. Whatever ideas we're discussing now, we have to be intentional about it. I think Brand Jamaica has carried us along for so long without us having to do much. It's time now that we become intentional about it, develop the policies, develop the systems, and own the pipelines that are going to be distributing our culture, our brand, and the products that we're manufacturing.
Yeah, Mark. We talk about digital dissemination and owning platforms. I'm a bit old school. My hair is gray. The connectivity, so the movement of goods in our region. Who knows that Jamaica is one of the largest natural deep water ports in the world? It's actually number 7. That Jamaica, from a movement of goods in our region, there are 3 ports in the region that are large. Cartagena, Colombia, in Damrep, and the port of Kingston. Our connectivity to the region and the greater Latin American region is as good as any of those ports. We get our goods and services, our goods in ocean freight to other markets as efficiently as anywhere else. Did everybody know that? So once you sell it, once you market it, once you create markets, distribution always wins, making sure you can get your product to the people how they want it, when they want it. It's important to understand that, yes, our culture has an outsized reach, but we also have a lot of physical things. We're the largest English-speaking Caribbean island. We've got the connectivity of our ports. We've got the diaspora out there. So these are things that set us up. We've got challenges. We've got high costs of energy. We've got a lot of things that we have to face, but they're not insurmountable because of all of the benefits that we have.
I wanted to add something different and apart from that Jamaica has so much, as you said, as it relates to like marl and bauxite. But just to add that we have 232 different herbs that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. 232 species. It may exist, but it's not as potent as it is in Jamaica. Who knows somebody called Farm Boy who registered with the IG? Farm Boy himself just a tree for $7,000 or $8,000, and he's constantly on Instagram. Farmer Boy, I think that's his name on Instagram, and he's selling loads of hundreds or thousands of dollars. And whenever you contact him, he's always out. One mango tree is for $5,000, $6,000. How many of the youth are actually thinking about that? He started when he was about 7 or 8 years old. How can we get Jamaicans to understand that they can just make money from nothing, from just the dirt and some water? Actually, nothing. This is what we want to do with the Buy Jamaica, Build Jamaica campaign, is to educate them that everybody is important, down to the farm boy is important.
The other thing that we've been asked to talk about is how do we keep more of the value chain in Jamaica? Again, we've exported our bauxite for years. We've never made an ounce of aluminum here in Jamaica. Those are the types of things that going forward is capturing more of the value and not exporting all the value. But that takes investment and capital markets that take some risk. And so there's a lot to that. We want to make it interactive. So let's stop and see any hands in the audience of anyone that's got any questions or comments or items you'd like feedback on. If you show hands, we'll bring a mic around. We've got one in the back. Can we get a mic back there?
My son just sent
in the back.
My son just sent me a correction. It's not 500 at high school. It was 500 at primary school.
If we could just have a name, organization, just a quick introduction.
Good morning. Dwayne Brown here. Oh, sorry. Down here? Good? Okay. All right, Dwayne Brown here, Youth Empowerment Officer from the Youth and Adolescents Policy Division in the Ministry of...
From where?
Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Now, our culture, a big part of our culture is food, our spices, agriculture. However, I realize that the young people, they do not readily want to get into agriculture. These spices like our turmeric, our curry, ginger, stuff like that, that we love as a people and that we want to export and put out there. How can we use things such as the AI to make agriculture more attractive to them? How can we get them more involved? Since this new generation is about the computer, the AI, the technology, how can we make it in such a way that they are attracted to agriculture and want to get into agriculture? Because how they see agriculture is water boat, machete, the traditional ways of farming. So how can we use these modern tools to get them motivated?
I'll leave the AI to Mark, but my quick 2 cents on that is I think every generation says that about the last. I mean, everybody says the new generation isn't. I don't think it's going to be AI that attracts them. I think it's going to be scaling those businesses and making money. I think the opportunity is going to be the attraction. I don't think everything needs to be dressed up in digital tools and put on social media. It's going to be the opportunity. It's going to be the scaling of these businesses and building larger agricultural businesses. But again, that's a gray hair talking.
I can add a little to that. So with the new Agro-Invest Corporation, they are actually building out agro parks all over. I mean, some of us at the JMA, we just got agricultural lands easily. That's because we had a vision of where we want to go. So together we are going to be doing a lot more AI or a lot more technical form of like pre-larceny, which is what most persons are afraid of going into. So we are going to come together and have our drone security. So everything is going to be more modernized. So once like a farmer boy here about him don't want to plant something and somebody come thief it from him. So I just want to hear that there's going to be something more technical advanced. And if you're working with the AIC, they have a program that they can assist you or they can give you technical advice.
And so just to recap that, you're saying that there's been a group of companies in the agricultural sector that got land from JBDC, the farmland,
AIC,
and are joining AIC. I'm sorry, and are joining up to share the infrastructure needed, so everybody isn't duplicating all the infrastructure needed in their small farms. So just to make sure everybody understood.
Right. So being a member of the JMEA, we got our members. We have over 500 members, so we got them in clusters, persons of the same interest, because we keep running out of raw supplies. So the agro-processors decided to go into farming. I don't know anything about farming, but I guess we can get there. I mean, with all the technical skills that's available now, we can get there. And I'm encouraging you again to join clusters and work together.
Yeah. So I agree with you both. I don't think AI or digitization or automation is going to be the thing that makes people fall in love with agriculture. For me, AI plays a supporting role. So you can certainly use AI to make the processes easier. You can use automation to make the process flow faster. But I think if anybody is going to get into farming, it's because they love the soil or they love business and they recognize an opportunity. The bigger question for me is, how are we going to make doing business in Jamaica easier? How are we going to make doing business more accessible to people who are operating in the micro and small to medium spaces so that it is not overwhelming? You don't think you have to have a big factory and all of that stuff. If you want to start off as an individual, you go here, you do this, and you start with this while using social media and AI to promote your business, to educate yourself, to do research as a support. But the love is going to come from the heart, either because you love farming or you see an opportunity where you can do something big.
Mark, I think we have to understand that the Jamaican culture, they don't understand that government facilities are there to help them. They don't really understand that AIC and different government agencies has opportunities for them. So educating them into going into farming, they need to know that opportunities are there. Most of them don't want to register a business, so that is where we fall short. I have been mentoring people all my life, like 4 or 5 persons for the week, and most persons do not want to register their company because they're fear of taxation. So if we can encourage them to I'll turn it over to Mick. If we can encourage them to get into farming, maybe we can give them a year moratorium of taxes, maybe.
Just, I can't answer that part, but, I'd like to take up on the point of using technology as a tool, an enabling tool to support what you're trying to do, regardless of the type of business. We actually have a project, the Digital Jamaica project, that is being implemented, well, one component of which is being implemented by the ministry's agency, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. And what we are aiming to do is to take businesses through the process of digitalization, and digital transformation. Why is this important? We did a gap assessment and recognize our results are showing that we are woefully unattached when it comes down to technology for the most part. We don't have our websites. We don't use the tools to do simple processes in our businesses that will make us more efficient and productive. And we are just not exposed enough in terms of how we do business. And so through that project, we are aiming to encourage more participation in the digital space. We have trained a number of entrepreneurs, and we are taking persons, because it's a continuum, so digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. Once we are through with all 3 sets of training, we are aiming to ensure that you have at least one tool in your organization that you're using. So that's the focus of that particular program. It's an EU-sponsored program, and we have been doing quite well. We are in year 3 of the program, and I think a lot more businesses need to be brought on. We are looking to expand it because we recognize this is the only way we can boost productivity in this country. The simple processes that some of our hairdressers and our very small businesses are doing can easily be turned over to technology. But sometimes we get so timid and we don't want to engage technology because we don't understand it. And so we have to introduce the training and the tools at the same time. About the businesses and making it easier, we are there with you. We are ensuring that through the companies of Jamaica, for instance, registration is not that hard. It was hard before. But it's faster now. You can go online and do your registration. You can do it as a business name, where it's just you register it and become a proper business person with you feel a little bit of prestige when you know that you're registered, right? And in terms of taxes, it's not everybody going to have to face the tax. Remember that there are provisions in place to ensure that we safeguard the tiny ones that are just coming up. So we have policies in place, but sometimes we block our minds and we don't engage government and the systems and the arrangements that we have in place to support what you do. And so I want to encourage us, read more, engage the ministry. This ministry, we have 20 agencies that support businesses along the value chain. We are not agriculture. I see agriculture being represented here, so I can't speak too much about the farming, but once you are seeking to become commercialized and you want to export and so on, that is where you come to us and our agencies for support.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sasha Todd, and I'm from Bizet Consulting. We're a market research firm. I just wanted to, earlier you said that a lot of small businesses avoid getting registered because they don't want to go through taxation, and that might be true for some. But I don't think, from my experience, that is true for most. I think that it can be very difficult and daunting, and I can see that from my own experience, trying to formalize a business. And I want to give the government of Jamaica credit because we've gone miles ahead of where we used to be. I mean, the first time I tried to do something on my own, it was a whole thing. You had to go down to NHT separately. You had to go to the tax office. You had to go to the NIS office. You had to go to Heart office. And none of those things were digitized. You have to literally go down there every 3 months and do it. It was a burden. And after a couple of months, I was like, I'm not doing this again, right? During COVID, I started my business, and it was a lot easier. You can register your business online at the company's office now, but guess what? You still can't renew it online, right? So, we started to do some things and make some things accessible digitally, but we have not gone far enough to make it easy for small businesses, right? If you want to register as an LLC and now you have to get audited statements every year, that's a huge cost, right? That a lot of small businesses can't afford. We talk about digital access and, using social media to promote yourself. But I think, some of the, JBDC did a survey in 2024, and only 47% of businesses use computers and have access to computers, not even talk about software, right? You want to promote your business, all right? Sure, you have things like Canva that might be free and easy, but suppose they want to go beyond that. Adobe Photoshop costs thousands of dollars, US dollars, right? Where do they get that? How do they access that? And these are the kinds of things that we need to put in place if we want to make an enabling environment for small businesses, right? Even things like insurance, right? I can't afford to insure myself or my employees because my business is too small. And every insurance business out there, they have a minimum number of people who can qualify, right? You have to have, this much money, right? And I would love to see the business support organizations look at all of these. Sometimes it starts with the small things, little practical things, like how can we offer insurance so that people can continue in their businesses and feel financially secure and stable enough to offer their employees a reason to stay instead of migrating and doing, other things, right? These are the things we have to talk about.
No, absolutely. Your point is well taken. I just wanted to make the point that it sounds like a small issue, but the estimates in how much of our economy is the underground economy. Underground not meaning it's illegal, but just meaning unregistered companies that are outside of the tax sphere. It's in the 40% of our GDP range. That's a massive number. If you think about what that would do for the tax base, if you think of now our GDP in terms of our GDP per capita now is right about 7,200. You add 40% on top of that, all of a sudden you're at 11,000. It is not an insignificant issue if we can get small businesses and businesses who are on the fringes involved in the system.
No, quite true. And to this young lady's point, when we talk about falling in deeper in love with Jamaica and, protecting our culture, it's not just protecting the thing or the asset. It's also about what she's saying, enabling Jamaicans here to do things much easier. Imagine somebody's here with an idea, with a thought, with a business plan, but they're burdened by the difficulties of doing business, and drawing a parallel with somebody who's sitting in Sweden who can formulate a business quite easily and create Jamaican products, have them manufactured in China and shipped to the US or all over the world without having to go through the struggles that we're going through here. So I just want to broaden our concept of when we're talking about protecting what we own. It's not just the thing. It's not just the asset. It's also about the process. It's about the people. It's about how we allow our people to have easier access to doing the things that we can do, to allow them to create, to allow them to ideate, and to allow not them, us, to produce.
I think we have another comment in the back.
Well, all right, I come in. And a question. I want to know if the participants here recognize that we have a new MSME policy that was drafted in 2024, which captures a number of things that we think needs to get done, So the policy speaks to the orange economy, it speaks to the blue economy, the silver economy, the green economy, it speaks to senior entrepreneurship, it speaks to digital literacy, financial and entrepreneurship literacy. It speaks to digitizing the entire platform. And the question that is in my mind, why I'm not hearing anything about the policy. Why we draft these things, why we do these things, which is the same as or even exceed global standards that's supposed to guide what we're supposed to do in the MSME space. Which, and bear in mind, we can talk about Vision 2030. And we can talk about the SDGs. And when we look at the goals, if you look at the goals of Vision 2030, that all Jamaicans are empowered to achieve their fullest potential. That is not a strict economic goal. That the society is cohesive and just. That is not a strict economic goal. The third one might be a strict economic goal that the economy is prosperous. But the fourth one is environmental. It's not a strict economic goal, which means then that the traditional thinking about business won't allow us to attain the SDGs or Vision 2030. It has to be broadened and focus on the people who make the money stay in Jamaica, which is the MSME sector. Focus on the people who mainstream gender, youth, and persons with special needs in their operations. So again, in my head, I'm still asking, why we do this big national consultation? Why we pay a consultant? And by the way, as the one who draft the policy as a consultant, why we pay a consultant to do the work? I will not implementing the policy. Like it's a joke thing with the country. We don't have no shortage of solutions and answers, and you show where you can get it done. But I am not seeing the policy being implemented. We don't like people waste the time. Serious about it, because I use the time to other things as well. If
I may just quickly respond. Well, we have not spoken about our 2024 policy because we have not yet promulgated such a policy. We are still using the 2018 policy and working to finalize the new policy. What happened is that we would have had consultations, we would have had more content added, but we had to undergo additional review because some thematic matters were still missing. And so we are working to get that one out of the ministry this year. We do have the reviewer going through because we recognize that certain things as it pertains to climate change and other matters having to do with finance, there would have been recent changes that we have not been able to adequately address in the policy. Matters of equity financing was not properly addressed, and so we needed to spend more time making sure certain thematic matters are built in and that we are building a proper ecosystem with those considerations in mind. Equity financing, for instance, is not a very common thing in the MSME space. A lot of businesses, because they are not willing to formalize, cannot benefit because a lot of your equity partners, your investors, will require that you have your records and that require that you do your audited financials. And so we are looking at how we work towards building out a system that will encourage more businesses to look at equity financing as a solution, and especially when you're going into emerging economies and emerging industries and new businesses like technology-based businesses. You have to, when you want to attract investors in these areas, and a lot of investors are looking for solutions coming from IT, they want to see your documents, your records that will allow for them to evaluate whether or not they are going to make wise decisions by working with you. So there are things that we're still reviewing because we recognize that there were thematic matters that did not adequately address the concerns that are affecting the sector, and we're working towards that. Now, the policy is being implemented, and Dr. Naif knows that he would have done his gap analysis and recognized that a good 90% of what was outlined in the 2018 policy was actually implemented. So we do have record to show that we have had success in terms of rolling out certain elements of the policy, a significant portion of the 2018 policy. But we do know and recognize we do have a lot of work to do. Jamaica, in order for us to advance our economy, we must recognize that our MSME sector is the backbone in truth, because this is where individuals and households are supported. And this is where we build from micro to large businesses. And so we recognize that there is a strong role for the sector. And so we have a role to play in ensuring that we are consistently rolling on not just the policy in terms of documentation, but strategies and different types of actions that will make sure that we see the results that we want to see at the end of the day.
And I think part of the point that I took from the comment was that we can't measure where we are just from GDP alone. If we're not taking the social, the fabric of the country along with us, then we're really not moving forward, except we're making some money for the people who are making money already. So your point is very well taken. We're almost at the end of time. We'll take one more.
Thank you so much. This, I think, will go back to a policy issue. So I work at the PIOJ with the Community Renewal Program Unit, which means we focus a lot on the grassroots businesses. We work closely with SDC, and you have over 400 nano enterprises. My observation over the years is there is a gap, I would say, or a disconnect in how we support nano enterprises along the business continuum. So we have JBDC, we have SDC, we have JAMPRO, all of that, but we don't have a system that is so integrated to move these smaller businesses up to the point that they can scale and even export. And so I guess my question is, what is, or I'm recommending a policy position that looks at integrating the systems that we do have in a much better way, that you have like a graduating process. You start at this level, and we know you finish with SDC, you go over to JBDC, you go over to DBJ, JAMPRO, but we need that to be tightened up some more, because the potential that we have, we're saying MSMEs are the drivers of the economy, which is true, but we have a whole lot of grassroots enterprises that have some fabulous items, but they need more support.
Join the JMEA.
Okay, great. I'll make it happen.
social capital again, and we do emphasize that. But just want to say I am in support of looking at how we work in an integrated way to take our businesses along a journey. There's a concept called journey management. We're looking at that as a ministry. And in fact, we recognize that often, a lot of times, what you'll find is that businesses don't know where to go. So you're here and you perhaps want to know a little bit about trade. You don't know sometimes where to go. So we're looking at a platform that will allow our businesses to identify where they are and where they may need to go next in terms of getting support, in terms of getting investment, getting financing, and that kind of thing. So that is important, that cohesiveness across government and the different types of intervention is critical, and we are definitely looking at that. We are working, for instance, with the U.S. Overseas Office of Technical Assistance, and we're looking at an MSME hub. It's a central place where we can share critical information on the sector, whether it is data that you need to influence your policies or your decisions, whether it is support institutions, both in government and outside of government, that you'd want to know more about, whether it is just interacting on a platform, marketing, we're looking at gamification and certain things. We are building out, we have to use technology because it is so complex, and the way we do things in government sometimes is a little complex and has many moving parts. So we're looking at how we use technology to build one platform that will bring it all together to make it easier for businesses.
I thank everyone on the panel. We're out of time. Apologies. I'd like to thank the PIOJ for having us. This is a wonderful event. I think the spirit of what it's trying to do. So as we leave here, we keep things moving forward. Jamaica love. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sidney Thwaites, Mr. Mark Frankson, Ms. Karima Munsi, and Mrs. Latoya Richards-Franklin. Thank you all so much for such an insightful fireside chat discussion. Did we enjoy that? Yes, we learned a lot? Absolutely. One thing is for sure, two things are for certain, is that everything is hard. Jamaicans love complaining, Lord, it hard. We have to go here, so. And we need to go there, so. You got to learn to choose your hard, man, because life is an ongoing process, and everything takes a little investment in time and effort. Some things, yes, of course, we can quarrel and say, boy, why does this have to take 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks? And yes, those things we have to improve on, that's for sure. But there are certain things that if you go anywhere else in the world, it's going to require some effort. And if it even means going online and filling out a form of 7 pages, yes, you're going to have to carve out a little half an hour and fill out the form of 7 pages. And no, it's not going to take 3 answers alone. Because when you're doing things correctly, you're doing things correctly. You want to make sure you're covering all bases. So sometimes, Jamaican people will love cuss, Lord, Babylon system, government, and we'll cuss out everybody and everything. But guys, trust me, no matter where you go in the world, it could be the most advanced spaces in the world. Singapore, Dubai, count them. Everything requires process. Everything requires time. Everything requires research. It requires effort. It requires collaboration. It requires going deeper than what you thought you knew. Because you don't know everything. You don't know everything. It requires collaboration with people who you may not necessarily like how them look. But you have to make sure that you are agile enough. And business entrepreneurship is about agility. It's about pivoting. So no matter what you think, me know this, I'm a grandmother, I'm a grandfather, I'm a great-grandfather, I'm a great-grandmother. Yes, that's all well and good, and it may have served their time well. But now we're stepping into a new era in life. And so that means that we're going to have to remove certain biases, remove certain things that are holding us back. It makes no sense that we're holding on to the things that we think are actually culturally right. And if we really examine and audit it properly, it's actually a prejudice. It's actually something that's holding you back from moving forward. And so we have to really and truly, in Jamaican terms, use sense. Have to use sense. So thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is really important that we do that if we want to advance our intentions, our dreams, our aspirations, and our businesses to make Jamaica the place that we want to live in, work, raise families, do business, and retire in, because we want to stay here. We don't want to leave. See people leaving Jamaica and then returning, because no, we don't better than yard. Right? No, we don't better than yard. Absolutely. Even when we had the cold front the other day, we said, boy, this nicey. It's nicey, man. It's cold, but it's nice. Right? So absolutely, man. And we have the answers here in Jamaica. We do. We absolutely have the answers right here in Jamaica. We can do it. We have to think bigger, and do more. So, a part of the things that we are known for internationally, in addition to Bob Marley and reggae and Usain Bolt and the sprinting and the running, is that we have the most fashionable people in the audience and worldwide. Am I right or am I right? Yes. So, Mr. DJ, can we have some fashion-appropriate music, please? As we get ready, yes, we're going to ask the team members to just get our stage ready as we move forward. And in the meantime, we're going to walk around the room, and I'm going to tap some people. In fact, you know what? I think one of the most fashionable ladies inside here is Miss Karima Munsi. Can you please stand first because of the vibrancy of these colors, Munsi? Can you just walk out for us, please? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, wow. The one, the only. She is a boss lady of home choice, and she's looking absolutely wonderful. Looking like a wonderful ray of sunshine. Wow. I know everything she has on is made in Jamaica. It's just right? We're going to say that it was made right here in Jamaica. Oh, she's not done. Okay, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the home choice branded bags. It's not? Okay, I thought. I'm ahead of myself. Sorry. Crocus bag collection. Zoom in for me, please. On the crocus bag collection, who said crocus bag was an ugly thing? Look at this work of art. Right? Buy Jamaican locally made stuff. And you know one thing with crocus bag, right? You fling it down, you take it up, you wash it, it's not going nowhere. Durability for days and years. Okay, let me see who else is in the room who's fashionable now. That gentleman right over there, you have on a shirt that's very interesting. A combination of what's that? Pink and green and white. Can you stand for us, please? Show off your shirt. Show off your shirt for the camera. That's it. Who says gentlemen can't wear a little touch of pink? And the shoes. So I must show with the shoes. I see all kind of thing on the shoes. Eiffel Tower, glasses. All right. Buy a foreign watch. Okay. All right. You show off though. Okay, let me see who else is in the room. The gentlemen who are here looking dapper. Oftentimes we don't big up the men that when them come out, right? We're always bigging up the ladies. Hi, sir, if you're not too busy, can you stand for us, please? I just want to make some commotion for the suit. Please. Ladies, your turn. Yeah, there you go. Hey! It's Valentine's Day, right? We just want to know, are you looking a gift this Valentine?
Absolutely.
He's open for a gift, ladies. Just saying this Valentine's Day. Cupid, draw back your bow, okay? Okay. Prof, I know you don't want to highlight, we don't say a man with a light camera and them something, but come show off your fashion, come. You always have on, you always look dapper, you know, say a real cha-cha boy long time. Come show off the fashion and show off the shoes. Listen, the man think about him fashion, the shoes match the shirt, match, hey, come the man. Come now, man. Let's come walk with you, man. Show them the real pose now. Come, show them the real pose. Can you make some commotion for the gentleman, please? I love the fringe. Them don't know them style here, Them don't know them sustainable styles. Hello. I want to see if there's somebody else. I need a lady in the room who's dressed fashionably. In her Jamaican color, she is wearing the flag. Stand for us, please. She's a Jamaican girl. That's right. So when I say, oh my God, you're from Jamaica, you say, how did you know? How did you pick it up? I didn't know I was so obvious. And the lady over there in the Jamaican shirt, can you stand for us as well, please? Thank you for repping. Oh, and she has it on as well. There we go. And as you can see, the branding in the middle is all glitzy. I love that. Touch of sparkle. Very girly, very nice. Love that. Love that for you. And then come here now, come stand up for winner, man. Come the council, come stand up for winner, man. Come stand up for winner, man. Because who's the lawyer can't dress? Doctor, Professor. Huh? My dress? You like my dress? Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm coming out with a limited line.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. David Bassoon. Yeah, man, for your dress. Give her a gift, too. Because you just look good.
I thank you so much for asking them for a gift for me. Come and light the basket them up there. So let's see what will happen. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for everybody in the room who is not just showing up here, but showing up here classy and looking good. Because one thing with us Jamaican people, we're going to dress up and look nice. Them cannot outdress us. And I don't know if you knew this, but I'm sure many of you may have or may have seen it this weekend. When you had Bad Bunny at the Grammy, well, it was the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl. The gentleman was there balling out Jamaica. And now you look on the field, somebody's there with the Jamaican flag waving it. Yes, Cardi B's on tour. And at one of the stops she made recently, on the stage, you're looking at a Jamaican flag. The world does not continue without us. Jamaica, yes! It doesn't move without us. And culture is, of course, the vehicle that we have been using time and again to move things forward. And, of course, we want to make sure that the world knows us for the things that we produce, right? So I beg of you, please, for the persons who are still waiting, considering, should I be joining this association, JMEA? Should I be going on to Jaipur and getting my business, covered under trademark and IP? Should I be going on to the company's office and registering my business? Yes. Yes, you should be. Please, we beg of you to get your affairs in order because the world is waiting. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving forward. We're going on to reflection. Jamaica at a crossroads, regional and global considerations of resilience. So at this time, we're going to be inviting Mr. Joseph Cox, Caribbean Business Review and Managing Partner for the Institute for Innovation and Growth, to come forward. And he's going to be providing a strategic perspective on our current economic landscape and the critical reflections on today's proceedings, Jamaica at a crossroad. Please make him welcome to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Slight change in plan. Prepared with a nice technical presentation. But guess what? After all of what we have seen, what we have heard from Sydney and team, I don't think you all want to hear any long, drawn-out something from me. So I'm going to cut it quite a bit short. But one of the things that I would like to say is after listening to the various presentations, I want to start with one very basic thing. It's supposed to be familiar to everybody in this room. And it's simply this. Amen, amen, amen. Now, when I say amen, I usually use amen at the end of a prayer. But in this case, you know what the prayer is? Prayer of hope. Because one of the things that we have to recognize about Jamaica and where we are now is where we're coming from and where we're going to. Jamaica is coming from a space where in 2013, we had a debt to GDP ratio of 147%. As of September 2025, we're down to what, 60.3%. Yes, Hurricane Melissa came along, and now we're pushing up back now to 68.2% at the end of the fiscal year. But here's the reality of life. Whereas that is significant in and of itself, it defines a brand new problem for us in this country. Because the 68% is no longer a crisis number, it's a management number. And that's what we have to be doing now. We have to learn to manage and manage a process to ensure it is optimized. Because as going forward, that sustainability depends far less on adjustment rather than really growth quality, execution, and resilience. Those are the watchwords we have to look at. But fundamentally, as we look at where the economy is now, we recognize something further. Inflation is it had moderated, but it's supposed to be post-pandemic, go to 9.5%. But you know what the real question is, or the real issue is now? And I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Has Jamaica stabilized an economic model whose structural limits are now being exposed by the global system itself? Now, it's a fundamental question where we have to ask ourselves, because, you see, we have to recognize what resilience is. Resilience is not a balance sheet. We're going way past that stage. But at the same time, the Jamaica that we live in, we're at a crossroads. We don't face a lack of ideas, as evidenced by the presentations from both Kamisha, who tried to embarrass because the hero is in full retreat with moose. Now, can you imagine? But when I listen to Sydney and other members of the JMEA, I mean, one can't help but be buoyed by the progress, by the vision that's been displayed, etc. But what we face is not a lack of ideas, but what we need to treat with very frontally is a misalignment of our incentive framework, no matter how we want to do it. We have to recognize that short political cycles reward defensibility over transformation. That's just a fact of life. We have built a culture of risk aversion. We have to circumvent that. And at the same time, in so doing, what we end up with is an import-dependent, low-retention equilibrium. Sound fancy and all of that. Reality of life, though, is that where we are going now is that if we don't treat with the issues as they are, our best policies will continue to underperform, and we can't afford that. We're living in an era now of what we call economic coercion, where, you've noticed, we're not subject to overt sanctions and all of that, what we used to see before. It's not quiet, soft power. You see the argument about your visas? That is a part of economic coercion. That's just a reality of life. We don't make it up. But you see, within the CARICOM frame, we have a challenge that goes across all the countries. High trade openness, narrow export and revenue base, limited buffers against externalities. Our intra-regional trade is roughly 15%. Right? Of the total Caribbean trade, intra-regional trade is only 15%. So therefore, we look to the JMEA to boost those numbers considerably. But we have to recognize something even more fundamental, and is this. Recovery, though it has been swift coming out of Hurricane Melissa, recovery is not transformation. There is a whole lot of work that is still left to be done. And whereas Jamaica has been moving apace in terms of its recovery processes and developmental processes, we have to recognize that we are beset with low productivity, and we have to change that. And low productivity is not just an economic weakness, it's a strategic vulnerability. So, ladies and gentlemen, where we're going with this now is that the central risk that Jamaica faces is not collapse, not even a long shot. But what it faces is modest growth, if you ask me, anemic growth, persistent leakage, constrained ambition, none of which are viable in the 2026 and going forward. That's no longer viable. So we have to reorient what we are doing. And, you know, when I was listening to the fireside chat, it struck me. Part of the challenge that we continue to face in this country, as Sydney raised it, is the informality. you have 40% of your economy that's informal, right? That compromises your revenue flows, even the efficiency of your policy. Because if you don't know, if you don't have the data to do the requisite management and planning, then it becomes constrained. And of course, you have the low adoption of modern management practices. I mean, yes, I know some people are of the view that, if you don't adopt some of these modern things, you don't use a computer, you don't do this, you don't do that, what you're doing is that you're avoiding the tax man. It really doesn't help you. Because what is happening is that if your business is small and you're not growing, over time you will stagnate and die. I'm told I have 1 minute left. So let me shut up. All right, folks, here is the other part of it that we have to look at. And I'm going to skip straight to it. Is that we have to recognize the adverse dynamic that we face in this country in a number of areas. One, you can't have the level of theft that is going on. Utility theft and infrastructure damage, $350 million US a year. That's crazy. Add to that, predial larceny, $5 to $6 billion a year. If you're adding the opportunity cost, $30 billion a year, right? That is where we are. But you know what the good part of it is, that where are the real opportunities, where we're going? Because even in terms of tourism, part of the challenge and part of the dynamic that we face is that there is significant leakage. 40.8 cents out of the US dollar is what we retain from every tourism dollar. That means 60% of it is going. And before you start to lament and say, oh God, that's it for Jamaica. No, in the Bahamas, it's 25%. It's 25 cents out of every dollar that they get. Antigua and Barbuda, they import 90% of the foods that they use in the tourism industry. 90%. What that means? Thin value chains. Right? On a market not responsive to the demands. That is the dynamic, and that's where we're coming from. That's why we have to be proud of ourselves, because in some markets, we actually have, for tourism, you have a negative net tourism value added. When you add in the infrastructure costs, and you talk about the repatriated funds, the overseas management, etc., etc., this is the reality that we face within the region. So, but let me be direct, folks, because since I only have a minute, and I'm sorry, I'm a Jamaican, I don't know what time is. So let me be direct. What we need, one, our productivity has to be elevated. It has to move from aspiration to explicit national objective. Two, our digital strategy must shift from access to output and tradability. Three, the knowledge economy must be anchored domestically, aligning training, innovation, finance, and retention incentives. Four, Jamaica must pursue value chain strategies. Just for clarity, government does not determine value chains. Right? That is the role of the private sector, and that's where I look to see the development. And finally, and probably most critically, institutional execution must be treated as a strategic constraint and not an afterthought. You see, but how you measure this? Because it's the easy thing. I'm not here to tell you, oh, look at if they can get the tourism retention numbers up. That is the sign of success. No, it's a series of things. One, rising domestic value retention across key sectors. When I look at Ms. Muncie, and you go into every bar, if you don't see it, it's not a good bar. That's all I have to say. You have to see the shrimp, because pepper, anyhow, they may not spoil you people. Rising domestic value retention, sustained improvements in capital budget execution, greater firm-level productivity and scaling, deeper domestic participation in regional and global value chains, and institutions that reward outcomes and not just compliance. Okay, folks, here is reality. The crossroads we're at is not about fixing what was broken. It's about deciding whether Jamaica builds an economy that creates value, retains agency, and absorb shocks, or one that simply manages constraints more skillfully than before. In the global system where access is conditional and discretion is power, resilience is no longer optional here, no longer optional. But I'm also, it is actually survival by design. But before I step down, let me just give you some quick takeaways from the fireside chat, which was shared with me just now. So one, Jamaica's cultural capital is an economic asset, but does not guarantee economic benefit. Structural monetization, I can't read the rest of it, but let me start at that one. Protection of brand Jamaica needs policy and awareness plus action. That's so absolutely true. You know how many years ago I started a magazine? I always remember it. And bear with me, you are your 1 minute. I'm not a 1 minute man, never was. Anyway, just point out something though. When I started a magazine, how many years ago? It was just produced and distributed in Jamaica. A friend of mine called me one day and said, boy, you're gone, big man, you're in New York. I said, me? I'm not product in New York. I'm trying to build out what I have locally. I'm saying, you can stay there. Your magazine is big in the indigenous stores, being sold. Poor me don't know nothing about it. So, take that as it is. Because this is the world in which we live. People will take your intellectual property. They will. There is no question about it. And one of the things we, as a people, we need to recognize is that old-time values and scruples, they don't work necessarily in a global environment because you have people who operate with no scruples and will take not even think twice in coming into Jamaica, seeing you have your product and replicate it and run with it and actually register the patent for it. Right? And these are some of the things that we have to safeguard against. And of course, I'm also guided here about ease of business remains a critical barrier to MSME growth. And in that respect, I will just add one thing to my friend down the back. Try to open a bank account as a small business, and then you find out what truth is. And of course, finally, resilient growth requires integrated systems, not isolated initiatives. There's not much more to say to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I thank you for your time. I hope I have not kept you too long from your lunch. But, I really couldn't spare the opportunity of sharing some thoughts. And as I take my leave of you, I have but one simple request. All the while I see the baby soon up here, jumping up and down and, guiding people. And yet I'm waiting to hear her sing. With that, I'm gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, can someone please tell Mr. Cox I'm not booked in that capacity this evening, please? Thank you very much. For another time, I will, you guys can call Kamisha because she's also booking Dr. Henry. So, exactly. If you want me to sing, you just know who to call, right? But very insightful presentation. I wish we really had more time with you because I'm sure the audience members would have loved to really dive a little bit deeper into what you were saying and ask some questions as well. But can we put our hands together, please, for Mr. Joseph Cox? Thank you so much, sir. And we're very happy to have you here with us. And we look forward to hearing from you another time because I do believe this should be an ongoing discussion. We can't just wait until, we have significant observances or events like this. We have to keep the conversation about Jamaica and growing Jamaica ongoing every day, every week, man. We consume so much news around the world about other parts of the world and what's happening with them, and we have to really mind our own business. Literally, we have to really zone in and really look at what we are doing and how we are growing, sustaining, and actually expanding our offerings to our local people, yes, and to the entire world. So, very happy that we had you here with us, sir. Thank you so much for the time that you spent with us. We're moving on. Vision 2030, Jamaica, Love Jamaica Essay Competition. So, we're going to be hearing a little bit about that. We're inviting Mrs. Samantha Wilmot Wilby. You've seen her all around the place running up and down. She deserves your round of applause, please. As she comes to the stage, one of the hardest working women in this industry.
Okay. So Joseph definitely put me on the spot because I'll be one of the persons standing between you and your launch. But, we have to launch the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica National Essay Competition. And, in recent times, Jamaica, like many small island developing states, has faced significant shocks: global financial uncertainty, the COVID-19 pandemic, and other health challenges, and the growing realities of climate change and environmental vulnerabilities as well. So more recently, we experienced Hurricane Melissa. And that hurricane reminded us again of both our exposure to risk and our remarkable capacity to endure, whether we want to believe it or not. You ever go down the west and you see the people down there happy same way? And you wonder how? Yeah, man. So the Love Jamaica Essay Competition is therefore not just a writing exercise. It is a national conversation, one that invites Jamaicans across generations to pause, reflect, and share their perspectives on who we are, what we have endured, and what gives us hope, and how we can build a stronger, more resilient Jamaica for generations to come. So this competition will cover 3 age groups. So you have youth ages 15 to 29, adults ages 30 to 59, and senior citizens ages 60 and over. So we're leaving no one behind. Now, by engaging these groups, we are intentionally capturing intergenerational perspectives. So we don't just want to hear from one group, but we want to have, start an intergenerational conversation through this essay competition. So the topic is Building a Shocks-Proof Jamaica, My Role in a Resilient Future. So let me repeat it. Building a Shocks-Proof Jamaica, My Role in a Resilient Future. And this topic was actually carefully chosen to encourage each group to share their unique ideas, perspectives, and solutions while inspiring hope and aligning with Vision 2030 Jamaica National Development Plan. So you can follow us on our social media pages. We will announce when the gates are open for submissions. And then following submission, of course, we'll go through a judging period. And then we will have, an award ceremony. Now, the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica competitions have really been impactful. You would have heard from a performer who was the winner of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Song Competition. And let me tell you, the performance that we got at the award ceremony was different from what we got today, which shows that he has really used the platform to grow, like him really take over the stage, this morning. And so we hope to see that same level of, presentation through the essay competition, as well as to feel the empowerment of our people through the different pieces that we'll read. So, I definitely encourage persons, if you know anyone who would be interested, anyone who would fit well into this competition, we encourage you to encourage them to follow us on our Instagram pages, because we will definitely be opening the submission window soon. All right? Thank you very much.
All right, one question. Who's going to enter? Don't all scream at once. But please, I hope that we are going to, enter. People inside here are able to enter. You are qualified for entry, right? They are qualified for entry. So go on ahead and enter. And also you have the opportunity to tell somebody who is very good at writing about this competition. Please spread the word far and wide. We don't want to sit on this information. Please, if you know someone, please tell them that this is now open. The Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica Essay Competition. They want you to showcase your writing skills. All right, we are in the process of launches. So At this time, we're going to be launching MTF. That is the Medium-Term Socioeconomic Policy Framework. We're inviting Ms. Pisha Bryan Lee, Program Director, and Mr. Travis Reed, Economic Development Specialist, Vision 2030 Jamaica Secretariat, PIOJ, to come forward to give us some information about this framework that will serve as our blueprint for sustainable growth and social development over the coming years. And they promise you they will not be standing too long up here in the way of you and your lunch. Drop the mic now after. Oh, okay. No, we're not going to do that. No. If I took off these heels, we're about the same height. Don't worry. Please make her welcome, please.
All right, okay. Yes, the shortness. You see, she's asking me if I'm okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Not only will I be not standing in the way of lunch, but not standing in the way of entertainment. Okay. All right, so I'm here to officially launch the process to prepare medium-term socioeconomic policy framework 2027 to 2030, MTF as in for short. The MTF is the main mechanism for implementing Vision 2030 Jamaica, and what it does is it presents government policy, and by that I mean what government is prioritizing in terms of where we're putting budget and programs and the environment that we're creating for the private sector, civil society, etc., to advance development. So that document has everything in one. It comes into effect through cabinet approval, so it is a policy document. So if you want to know what is the policy priority of government for the medium term, you go to the MTF instead of trying to find every document and try to figure it out. So that is what it is. Now, the reason why we're launching this one is that it is the final of 7. And it is the one that takes us to 2030. We will also be taking a broader approach to developing this MTF. Remember, last year we launched our comprehensive evaluation. We had some setbacks because of Hurricane Melissa and some other factors, but largely that. But what we're also doing is we are combining the process of looking forward in developing this MTF. So for all those persons who keep asking what comes next, the fact is the development continues all the time. But what comes next is going to be dependent on you. So your role is to make yourself available, get yourselves informed. How many persons in here know any piece of policy? Anybody in here? Everybody knows a piece of policy? Everybody, who in here has read a policy document recently? I don't see the hands. I see hands that are down, but not up. So the point is, part of us being able to inform a policy framework is to know what exists so that we can speak in an informed way to the gaps. We also need to, in an informed way, look at the data on our sectors. So we need to be able, when we consult with you, to be able to get data-driven responses. We will also be doing research as well. So who will we be speaking to? We'll be speaking to our ministries, departments, and agencies. But we'll also be speaking to private sector, civil society, young people. For one iteration of the MTF, we even spoke to children, and that was very good. Those children spoke to us about policy incoherence. Yes, they did. They said this policy and this policy don't match. And those were kids. So, looking forward to having your input in the MTF. Now, that is basically the launch. You will get more information on the MTF via email, via social media, via other programs. And as I said, we would be short. But let me wrap up by saying what the working theme we're working with is currently. It's resilient growth, global competitiveness, anchored in stability, productivity, participation, and strong institutions. And based on the fireside chat, based on what Mr. Cox just said, I think that our team is on the right track. Note, however, that the theme is not set in stone. As we go through the MTF process, we look, and it could be slightly modified, but that is our working team, and that is what we will be coming to you in terms of the broad framework for discussion. Thank you once again for coming today. Thank you for being a being a part of Vision 2030 Jamaica. And together we make Jamaica the place of choice to live, to work, to raise families, and do business. Because as a Jamaican, my country is the greatest.
Absolutely. Our country is the absolute greatest. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us the information. Thank you, Miss Pisha Bryan Lee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are winding down, but this would not be a true Jamaican event, right? Without us continuing the high energy with some entertainment. It is time to turn up the vibe a little bit more. Are you ready? I mean, don't all say yeah at one time, but please do. Are you ready? Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an artist who's going to be coming in. And as the tech team gets ready, we want you to turn your attentions to the screen, because I do believe that we have a little video of someone who we're referring to as Elder Flames. And this is a gentleman who, he time and again, he showcases his dancing skills all the time. And tech team, there we go. Press play for me. Ladies and gentlemen, Elder Flames. Hey, 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 hey. On beat. And with that said, please welcome to the stage, High Flames.
I want flames in
Sir Cox.
I want flames in What your vibes let me bring us up?
Turn it up. No. Mash it up.
That style you go stay so them curry up. If you can't catch it dance, we hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, The dance are too bad, I bet you can't catch this. Let's say a girl, I watch me like Netflix. Purple jeans, I beat it all the chicks. Stepping at the beast and GLE. So catch this style when you all of them want do. High Flames are lead me now ask you. Baby, dirt I call you. Beat them t-shirt, you can't set it on like a banana. Yo, catch 50 and a clap. Make you say me slingshot on another chop. Because so, world dance make you. Them a follow and a watch your style. Tapping eyes. We still a dance is happy vibes. Baby dirt, Papi Kyle. Party now done so now. Watch your vibes and me bring us up. Turn it up. Watch the jam, mash it up. That style you go stay so them hurry up. If you can't catch the dance, we hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Next track.
Yo, flames where?
Hey, I want flames in now.
Frank White. I want Kaka.
What Kaka? The new prodigy. Yo, give it away, give it away, give it away. Look on this here. Yo, Kaka, high flames.
It's like catching you that same charge. Charge. It's sick now, no yard. So give away, make my mash up in a dog in a dolly son. Then the Barbie, them a go on. So catch you dance me, I beg you go so charge. 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 I charge. I'm ready. I go so. I mean, I know no just a dancer. You not fi ask me for it. Inna the party, I go on like she a bad Barbie. The shoes they cheap. Hey, so catch your face, she a charge, charge, charge. I go so charge, charge. I watch it dance now.
But anyways,
slap it up,
yeah.
Mash it up.
Yeah.
I never do it, but me.
No.
Hey, so catch your bones, we say. Touch the next track, okay. Flames. Ella Flames are there today, you know. So me, I want them, we can't jug out one of my friend them. When we say that verse there, they go jug you out today, cause you can't go run for today. Flames, oh. Jano. Professor Andre. Yeah, man, we are dragging out to the door. Flames. Mr. Put it up there. I have to draw you out today. You ready? So you say, you're gonna mash it up with me. Alright, touch it again. I want flames. Alright, so here we are. We're going left and then we'll go right. Ready? Left, right. Left, right. And then left, and then right. And then left, but more you can stir fry. So go so. Stir fry. Stir fry. Stir fry. Stir fry. Stir fry. Okay, let go the bird. I make the bird fly. Alright then. Let go the bird. 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 Hey, alright, everything together now. So, left, right, left, again, left, right. And then remember with stir fry. Alright then, stir fry, stir fry, stir fry, stir fry, stir fry. And then with the leg of the bird, no. Alright then, leg of the bird, hey, leg of the bird, hey, leg of the bird, hey, leg of... Touch it again, the selector. I want flames in hey, hey. Flames rock, oh dog, you're too bad. Hey, a flame jack off it take over. Nova Scotia, the bossy box, everybody touch your shoulder. I told the left man I rock it like coaster. Full suit, a close cologne, a top phone. Let me take a next step, and them a take said. And she a move to the beat, get your foot there. I mean not take check, you ready head said. We just a singing at the boot, I mean not take no check, cause so. So catchy, but still a dance. So catchy, dance, but still a dance. So catchy, dance, but still a dance. So catchy, flames. Oh, give me the next shot there.
Timeless. You ready for that one, yeah? High flame. Yeah. Done, man. Wanna get set. Ready?
Hey, everybody get you dance, everybody get you rock. Put up with the club, you're gonna get you rock. Everybody get you dance, everybody get you rock. I dance, me I tell you no stop. Hey, I want that tougher than a rough top. Lead up in them a dance, don't a love that. Catch it dolly, them a dance, I'm love that. Now when you're low, I'ma be my way. Move your foot a day, stop that. Keep while I'm running now. Nah, no time for no talking. Stamp the yard, new dance if you bust that. Stamp the yard, it bad, it bad, it bad, it bad. Stamp the yard, it bad, it bad, it bad. Hey, stamp the yard, it bad, it bad, it bad, it bad. Stamp the yard, it bad, it bad, it bad. Hey, look us up. Fling your butt, not turn over. We don't tell them to say flames that take over. When me for drive, they be man the rover. A magnum, me a beat, me not sober. She dance, man, madder than them. Brand new dance are the new anthem. Stamp your foot and swing your anthem. Double up your foot, make your knee. Give me the next shot.
You have been promoted.
Hey, I got star.
You are now one of my elite employees.
Full of style, so me still a than them. Me a bring back a dance, Macarena back then. All who are on the place, me no hear from them. From when me a put in the work, that's why me a take it to them from Stokey. Now me kill the beat, I'm on a rookie. Me still a sing shots, smooth with it when the cookies. Everybody do the dance, go so. Hey, Macarena. And everybody do the dance, brand and I mash up in a better. Catchy dance, baby, dirt a winner. And Maca 2, Maca 3, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. And everybody do the dance, DJ, I mash up in a better. Catchy dance, car 50 a winner. One Maca 2, Maca 3, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Alright then, Macarena, 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 Maca. I'm gonna get the next one there, bro. Macarena, Macarena. Alright, so this is Baby Dirt High Flames. Well, Baby Dirt there. This is Baby Dirt High Flames. Alright, Baby Dirt, Baby Dirt, Baby Dirt, Baby Dirt, Baby Dirt, Baby Dirt. This is 50 high flames. Alright then, $50, $50, $50, $50, $1. $1. This is Saski. Saski Flames. Hey, Saski Flames. Saski Flames. Saski Flames. Saski Flames. Saski Flames. Saski Flames. This is DJ I Flames. Alright then. DJ Flames. DJ Flames. DJ Flames. DJ Flames. DJ Flames. DJ Flames. I'm gonna sing chat. This is Kaka I Flames. So you go. Hey, Kaka Flames. Hey, that is it. Big up on yourself. Hear that?
Make some noise for High Flames. Oh my gosh, our performers are the best, right? Yeah, man, I would love to see with Jamaican young people performing and doing great. And trust me, dance, Jamaican dance has managed to be one of our largest exports worldwide. When I tell us that we have a dancer as part of our RGR Gleaner Communications group called Orville Hall. And there's no place that Orville has not been teaching Jamaican dance moves. Germany, Dubai, South Korea, even in some of the most conservative countries, there is a demand for Jamaican dancers worldwide. So we have to really encourage the young people when we see them. It's not just a little shoulder fling and a little 1-2 steps that they're doing. Who to tell? They could actually be representing Jamaica somewhere in the world as dance ambassadors, right? So one more time, please, for High Flames. Yeah, man. They did good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're winding down. I see that we have plates on the tables, knives and forks on the tables, and I know what time it is. It's lunchtime. And so we're going to invite Mrs. Rochelle White, Senior Technical Advisor to the Director General, to come forward to give us a vote of thanks and to make way for afternoon soups and salads.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very hard to follow what just went, but good afternoon again. As we bring this staging of the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Fest to a close, it is my privilege to extend sincere appreciation to all who contributed to today's successful and meaningful engagement. Our Director General, Dr. Wayne Henry, he started out this morning by guiding us and giving us some insights, setting the tone for today's discussions. We acknowledge all our distinguished guests and partners, including representatives from the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the JMEA, the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, who was represented by Mr. Zulu, colleagues from other ministries, departments, and agencies, our private sector, civil society partners, and all specially invited guests for joining us both in person and online. I want to sincerely thank our presenters and panelists who did very well today for sharing perspectives that enrich today's dialogue on resilience, innovation, and growth. I extend sincere appreciation as well to Mrs. Samantha Wilmot Wilby and Ms. Pisha Bryan Lee, who both contributed to today's important launch activities. We recognize the recipients and participants in our special segments, including the Vision 2030 Jamaica Love Jamaica champion, who was quite surprised this morning by her award and gave a if she was surprised, it didn't show in the way how she thanked us, because that speech was perfect. And our audience engagement activities, which brought both energy and connection to the day's proceedings. I want to thank our performers and creative contributors, Dee Burns, who left, alongside DMG, Melek Richards, and High Flames, whose performances reminded us of the strength of our culture and creative expression. To our Master of Ceremonies, always a pleasure to have Ms. Bisoon with us. Thank you for your professionalism, warmth, and steady guidance throughout the program. Behind the scenes, the Vision 2030 Jamaica Secretariat. They worked so hard to put this event together. The organizing committee, technical teams, and support staff, who diligently ensured that we had a smooth execution of today's event. To all participants, thank you for your presence, your engagement, and your continued commitment to national development. As we enjoy lunch, I want us to continue to fall deeper in love with our country, not only through celebration, but through deliberate action, collaboration, and shared responsibility, working together to build a resilient, inclusive, and prosperous Jamaica. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you at the next event.
At which point Dr. Cox is going to be dancing for us and singing for us. Or maybe we can do a duet, sir. How about that, yes? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Give yourselves a rousing round of applause. You've been an excellent audience. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for, of course, giving us your time here. It was really a joy to be here and to celebrate Jamaica's resilience, creativity, and our shared commitment to national development. We truly appreciate your participation throughout the day's proceedings. And just to tell you that we're going to be having some live music that will be continuing a little while longer, so you can relax and enjoy the music. And for those of us inside this space, we're going to, of course, eat together, because a family that eats together achieves together. There we go. I like that. I like that. For our online audience, we want to invite you to stay tuned. We have some giveaways on our Instagram and Facebook pages. So make sure that you, of course, keep it locked to our pages, Vision 2030 JA, for the opportunity to walk away with something there. On behalf of the Planning Institute of Jamaica and the Vision 2030 Jamaica Secretariat, I wish you a wonderful afternoon. Please continue to wave Jamaica's flag high, high, high. My name is Debbie Bissoon. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much. It's lunchtime. Okay.
Jamaica, the land of wood and water. The system might not proper. Well, and then they say, whoa, can't you see the beauty of this country? Me never know a serious thing until me reach a foreign. So what a nice place to live. The only problem is one more time. What a nice place to live. One more time, help me big up. And I say, help me big up Jamaica, the land of wood and water. This is the night. Me love me food and me culture. Oh, can't you see the beauty of this country? And me never know a serious thing till we're there when me go a foreign. I want a nice place to live. The only problem is that I want a nice place to live. The only problem is wait, I'm done. All right, I know we switch it up. All right, I know we switch it up now. The boys same time. All right, I know. Me and me brethren, them chilling from the corner. Light up a fire and a boil green banana. A little more when you figure out the hell shop. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh. Make a stop by me girlfriend Lana. Long time I see her, a long time me wanna. Turn up the music inside of the Bimaya. Whoa, oh. And if you know which thing I feel like jumping to the reggae beat. And then me bubble up me body and me move the feet. Feel like jamming to the vibration. Oh, sweet Jamaica. Whoa. Raise it to the sky and let me see you. I'm here wrong thing. Jamaica, let me see your hand. Whoa, oh, sweet Jamaica. Whoa. Sweet Jamaica, we all live. We love we Yankee and we solve it, we all live. We love cause yeah we there. I said yeah we there, which part we there? I said yeah we there, which part we there, you know? I said yeah we there, again I said sweet, sweet Jamaica when I live here. The yucky and selfish when I live here. Say I'm a banana, the cassava. We talk about the fried fritters and the escovitch fish. I talk about the cock soup. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about sweet Jamaica, sweet Jamaica, sweet Jamaica. Yes, sir. Now this one is called Sweet and Dandy. In a room and cry. Papa says she must wipe her eye. Now this says she not be foolish like she never been to school at all. It is no wonder he's a perfect one.